It is often said that the pride or the dream of every parent is to have their children do better than them. But as far as esports is concerned, I don't think familial ties really matter. This is the Niger Delta Derby, and we have the mother state Rivers going up against the daughter state Bayelsa. I have with me here Milia, and my name as always is Khan. Milia, I know you have a lot to say right now because some of the players we've actually had the privilege to host in previous tournaments are from both states. And I know that you are a family-oriented person. Do you think that family ties matter in competitions such as this?
Of course not. I don't think they matter. For me, this competition is not about a mother or a daughter, or it's not between a mother and a daughter. It's between the very best solid teams in Nigeria at the moment. So yeah, we have the best from River State and the very best from Bayelsa. It is the best versus the best, not the mother versus the daughter. That's it for me. So yeah, family ties don't matter.
Well, you heard it from Milia, but one thing I know is that the hopes of thousands of gamers from both states will be riding on the gladiators that will be representing them today. We have guys from River State, the tested and proven. I think the best player from River State is also on the team Rivers in the person of Dexter. And we have all guys from Bayelsa, some of the best players from the city. We have people, the fan favorite PJ. He's already in the studio with us right now. And to you, the hundreds and thousands of people watching from home, I want you to keep it locked, stay glued to your screens, get your phones, shout out to your best players and support your state. Don't forget, this is the Niger Delta Derby, and who knows who will take the scalp of who this day. It's a 2-day tournament, and I mean, it promises to be hell for some people and glory for the other team. Like I said before, my name is Khan, and right now we'll be headed over to ads, and then we will meet our guys on commentary duties. Thank you very much.
But well, it's left to be seen as it's a long way to go.
What stands out in Dexter's game?
Well, the fact that he's very innovative. He can invent things on the spot. He doesn't have this generic style of play. You can decide to have more players with this guy. Decide to work with counters. You can also decide to cede possession to him, and it's going to punish you by having more possession and also getting those goals. So basically, he's very adaptive in whatever situation he finds himself.
Looking at Team Bayelsa, the players to do justice to this Niger Delta rivalry is Chukuchuku, Babala Yefa, Mr. Morale, Kodes Snow, and PJ. These are the lineups of the Team Bayelsa. First off, before we look at the player who stands out for you, what is the main thing that Team Rivers should be worried about from Team Bayelsa?
Well, I feel Team Rivers will probably put up a good fight, but if we are talking about what they should be worried about, it's basically from this guy PJ, because that guy, he's known as a goal scoring machine. So if they are able to lock in on defense, I'm sure they'll be able to put up a good fight against PJ, because I can tell you for sure that that guy is out for blood here today, and anybody that comes his way, he wants to demolish them and destroy them in a very embarrassing manner. So I feel if they can put up a good fight, that will be a huge confidence booster for most of the players from Team Rivers.
PJ stands out for you from Team Bayelsa, is that so?
Yeah.
What's specific in-game abilities, what specific characteristics do we watch out for from PJ today?
For me, it is goal scoring. This guy, he scores all kinds of goals from different angles. It doesn't matter the situation. Once he goes 2 goals up against you, you can basically call it curtains, because he will just keep scoring and scoring and scoring. We saw that in the RSPL, where he actually defeated Dexter 8 goals to 2, and defeated Doom 5 goals to 3. And I can tell you, these guys are not small gamers. I'm sure you know that. So PJ, for me, like I said, his goal scoring is one of the best I've seen.
So the overall standout in this has to be PJ.
Yeah, you could put it that way, because this guy literally defeated the best in Rivers State 8 goals to 2, and basically the second best in Doom 5 goals to 3. So yeah, he should be the overall
standout. That makes Team Bayelsa favorite in your opinion?
No, obviously I'll still go for Team Rivers.
Anyways, what's that specific player battle you'd love to see? Which players facing up against each other would you love to see today?
Well, I've seen some of the players face off themselves in the RSPL and the RSDL, but the game between Controller and let's say Controller and Coded Snow is going to be a really good game. Coded Snow, this guy, if you watch him from the RSDL, he has something that he has what they call grit. This guy, he can go 2 goals down and it wouldn't really affect his mentality. On the other hand, Controller, who in the RSPL, he didn't start on a good run, but towards the end, when he locked in, he was basically flying and was able to gain promotion to the Elite League. So I feel game between Coded Snow and Controller is one to watch out for.
Actually, what Team Rivers should be worried about from Team Bayelsa? Now I would flip the coin. What should Team Bayelsa be worried about from Team Rivers?
I feel Team Rivers, the fact that they know themselves, I feel probably Team Bayelsa and Team Rivers, they played against themselves a couple of times, like individually and probably friendlies and all that. So I feel Team Rivers would try to look out for their weaknesses to do.
What would be the main motivation between these two teams? What obviously the you can say the motto for Team Rivers is rivalry, honor, glory. And when you look at these two teams, what is the main motivation that should be able to drive these players to deliver victory for their respective states?
Basically bragging rights, because you have people who are loud talkers in there, the likes of PG, that they talk and they don't just talk, they also walk
gaming and
talk.
sports, that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So like I said, basically bragging rights. I feel that's what both teams will be looking for, because whoever wins here can actually crown themselves king of the South. So you get me.
Ladies and gentlemen, watch out for who will be kings of the South. It's the Niger Delta Derby in a contest between Chuku and Dexter. Comes out on top.
Wow, that's I'll go for Dexter. Chuku, he just concluded. He just scrapped his way into the RSPL after from the just concluded RSDL, and his performances at first were really good, but later, due to some issues, I feel he kind of dropped off, losing about 4 games in a row. Dexter being Dexter, the best in Rivers State, so obviously I feel Dexter would have the edge in that particular game.
We have a contest between Fonzie and Mr. Morale. Who comes out on top?
This is actually a really a tricky game, because Fonzie is not that kind of he's not the kind of player to give you all those silky moves, and he just plays the passing game, nothing too fancy, but he gets the job done. On the other hand, Mr. Morale, I think he finished about 9th in the just concluded RSDL. but that doesn't really say anything about him because that guy is a household name in the gaming community. He's a player that most players look up to. The likes of PJ. PJ said, this was the guy who taught me how to play FC. This is my mentor. So that just goes to show that this guy is really, really good. But in a matchup against Fonzie, I'll just go with Fonzie. Probably a 1 or 2 goal difference. Yeah.
What against Code Snow and Doom? Who stands out for you?
Doom, in my opinion. Doom. I think Doom should be able to have the better of against Code Snow. Not like Code Snow is not a good player. This guy literally finished second and just completed RSDL. But Doom has been to many places. He's been to Lagos. He's been among the 4 best players in Rivers State. I think to an extent he was about top 10 in Africa at a point. So yeah, I feel Doom should be able to get the upper hand against Code Snow.
I think that's the beauty of the sport, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even if the players stumble upon these predictions, they have to make us eat our words.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
eat your own words. Anyways, I'd love to find out what you'd make of a matchup between El Dorado and PJ.
Well, the last time these two guys faced themselves in the RSPL, El Dorado actually won that game 5 goals to 2. If there's anyone from Team Rivers that can basically defeat PJ, I feel El Dorado will be one of them because this guy, he just for some reason you could put it like his PJ's kryptonite because every time they face themselves, he always seem to have the upper hand, and that PJ will be looking out for that and would hope that he can actually flip the script in his favor this time around. But it's left to be seen, like I say.
Well, in a game between Dexter and PJ is like the modern day master against the student. Maybe Pep Guardiola against Mikel Arteta, but obviously this is a rivalry, and when it comes to rivalry in sports, in gaming, anything competition, definitely have to understand that it is not about the statistics. It's all about, like you said, him as bragging rights. So in case we see a classic rivalry between Dexter and PJ, who do you think comes out on top with that one?
Well, they've played once before, like I said, in which PJ happened to demolish Dexter 8-2. It might be a close game, like I said. Dexter usually goes home and he watches his games, tries to see the mistakes where they come from, and I feel this time around it's going to be close, but I'll still give PJ to come out on top.
I'd love to get your thoughts on something, another pairing, Chuku against El Dorado.
Chuku against El Dorado. I'll still go with El Dorado. They faced themselves in the RSDL last season and El Dorado came out on top, and I feel if they face themselves again today, it's not going to be any different. So I feel El Dorado definitely has the upper hand.
Well, we can see the players already lining up and getting their arsenals ready to face each other. But hey, stick with me, Hinz, as we'll still be discussing on who will be top of each other when they do get to face each other right now. On the other hand, this is the 43 Esports coverage of Team Rivers versus Team Bayelsa. One state, one team, one mission. Ladies and gentlemen, bragging rights is at stake. Rep your state, by the way, in case you would want to be viewing this one. We're seeing 2 men taking to their respective controllers right now. Code Snow against El Dorado. This will be something, and this will be something special. Himself, before we go to the rest of the players, first of all, this matchup in detail. Code Snow, what should we be focusing on in this game? For El Dorado, to what will we be focusing on in this game?
Well, Code Snow against El Dorado. This was the first matchup for both players in the RSDL last season, and El Dorado happened to win that game 3-1. Code Snow said it wasn't his best matchup, and he promised us that he was going to get back, and he actually did kind of fulfill his promise because he finished second in the RSDL. But one thing, like I say, El Dorado is the kind of guy that wants to have all the possession, and Code Snow, he works good with counters. But you should also remember that the last time it was actually 95 rated, but this time is his ultimate team, so it could be a really different kind of thing here, because El Dorado, I'm sure they are more comfortable with ultimate team players, and it could be entirely different today. That's what I feel. But like usual, El Dorado would always want to have more possession of the ball, and Kodesno would decide to work with counters.
All right, let me keep on picking your brains from the rest of the players and those pairings if they do also come to fruition. Dexter against Babaleva. Who comes out on top?
Well, Baba Layefa, he's a name I've just been hearing, but I've not really seen him play. And today he'll be hoping that he can actually put up that kind of fire and make yeah, this guy, he's something special. He's something that we should watch out for. But like I said, Dexter, the best in Rivers State. So obviously, I'm going to go for Dexter.
Well, Kodes.
Yeah, you can see Kodesno's coach in this game is happened to be Mr. Morale. That's something that's surprising.
What do we get from that pairing?
Well, Mr. Morale, he seems to be a good teacher because one of his students ended up being the highest goal scorer in the RSBL, and now Kodesno also ended up being the highest goal scorer in the RSDL. So, Mr. Morale, of course, he seems to be a good teacher. So,
hoping Mr. Morale gets to pass on a lot of morale to Kodesno.
yeah, exactly.
Even if he's losing, I mean, you have morale by your side, so just keep dwelling on it. Well, Kodesno representing Bayelsa, seeing him set, ready to do battle against El Dorado. Don't forget, this is the 43 Esports coverage of the Niger Delta Derby. Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa. It promises to be a standout one. Two of the gentlemen who will be doing business in the next couple of minutes, you have seen them on your screen. Kodesno against El Dorado. Don't forget the rest of the players representing these states for Team Rivers. Of course, El Dorado currently on seats. Controller is still in and around somewhere to do justice to this rivalry we're about to see on display. Dexter is also around. Fonzie, don't forget Doom, who's also in and around the area. For Team Bayelsa, definitely you will be seeing a lot of these players on display. Chuku is there, Babalaeva, Mr. Morale, Kodesno, PJ. A lot of these players will be doing justice to their respective controllers. And of course, this is a rivalry. Set the statistics aside, set the odds aside, ladies and gentlemen. This will excite himself, and I've seen the list and we've been dwelling on the players all for this big clash we're about to see. Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa. But then let's pick apart what are the major lapses in these two states. You can emanate them from the players, you can emanate them from whether it be the coaches or their gaming style. What is the major functional lapse in Team Rivers that has to be corrected in this clash?
Well, for one, I would say is they're defending. El Dorado is someone that he actually starts on a high but often drops off. We saw that in the RSPL. At the point he was tipped to be the winner of the RSPL, but he happened to get relegated. And in the RSDL too, he was on a high at the start of the season, but then he began to drop off. So I would say the fact that one of the best players from Rivers can happen to drop off basically is something that they should watch out for. That's Team Rivers. Basically, I would not say it's their defending. They're defending. They happen to concede lots of goals. We saw that 5 goals conceded by Doom against PG, 8 goals conceded by Doom by Dexter against PG2. Then now they're going to be facing Kodesno for the first time. This guy happened to score 40 plus goals in his just concluded RSDL. That he was basically the highest goal scorer in the RSDL. So I would say if they can exploit Team Rivers' defense, they're definitely running away with this.
Bayelsa, what are those lapses that should be eradicated for a win to definitely be on their cards today?
From Team Bayelsa, I would say is their mentality. They should just have the right mentality because Team Rivers, these are players that they've played on really on the biggest of stages. So they will definitely have that high mentality coming to this game. And Bayelsa, I don't know about most of them, but if they should have the right mentality, they definitely have a chance to get out something from this game.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, very shortly, the two gentlemen will trade battles. Of course, this is the ultimate battle for the bragging rights here in the Niger Delta. As Himza said, it's who will be the kings of the South South. We're ready to see Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa. This is the 43 Esports coverage, of course, of this big derby, this big clash between these two states who would want to stand out on the major stage. So, Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa. Now, I was picking your brains about some of the possible pairings and combinations when they do happen, and what you think will be the end product of that. So let's get back to that, shall we? Doom, maybe he ends up battling Mr. Morale. What transpires in that?
I feel Doom should have the win in that game against Mr. Morale. No disrespect to Mr. Morale, but Doom is just another level. This guy, he's like I've said before, he was once one of the best in Africa too. Of course, Mr. Morale would probably be on the receiving end of Doomsday, like he does call himself every time. So yeah.
See where that Doomsday is coming, but hey, ladies and gentlemen, the man called Snow still heavily involved in it for everything that will be transpiring today. But of course, he faces the man El Dorado right here, right now, and that matchup will be coming to you very, very shortly. But then, him says, let's keep picking our brains, shall we? Let's check out what could transpire if Fonzie does face. I think I might know what you want to respond, but if Fonzie does face PJ, what happens in that?
Well, the last time they faced themselves, the game ended 9-3, and I don't see it being any different this time around. PJ is basically the best goal scorer I've ever seen in the FC scene live, and he's yet to give us those goals. So if Fonzie happens to face him, he's definitely going to be on the receiving end of a lot of goals. Happened once before, and it can definitely happen again.
All right, let's keep dwelling on that. El Dorado about to do battle, but he's doing it against Cold Snow. So what if El Dorado comes up against Chuku Chuku?
El Dorado against Chuku Chuku. I feel El Dorado would come away with the win. They faced themselves before, and El Dorado, Chuku Chuku almost has the kind of gameplay El Dorado would want you to have. Both players have the same kind of gameplay. Both possession-based players, and El Dorado will always try his possible best to have the upper hand in possession. And I feel once Chuku Chuku doesn't have a hold of the ball, kind of get disoriented, and El Dorado is going to capitalize on that and get the win.
Ladies and gentlemen, the players are getting ready. Team Rivers, El Dorado kicks things off for the Garden City State. Team Bayelsa also in the mix through Cold Snow, who will be doing justice for Team Bayelsa. This is the Niger Delta Derby. This is brought to you by 43 Esports, and we are ready. El Dorado, of course, doing justice with his own lineup. We can see some of the players who will be doing the business for him on the day. And of course, don't forget Cold Snow representing Team Bayelsa. Two teams are ready, just some little checks to get on and away to represent all of this, but also just to let you know, El Dorado gets specific instructions and some good bit of assistance from Doom, who's by his side as his manager in this one. So, Team Rivers, Team Bayelsa, all set to kick off, and of course, this is going to be game day delight. Himzas, your prediction for this particular clash? Do you have a scoreline prediction in mind?
Yeah, 3-1. Like, I'm just going what happened last time. El Dorado, the team Coda scored 3-1, and I feel that's what's going to happen in this particular fixture.
Okay, very interesting thoughts. 3-1 to El Dorado.
Yeah, definitely to El Dorado, yeah.
Cold Snow has a little bit of work to do in this one, of course, to make him eat his words. Of course, like I said, it's a rivalry. Put everything aside, and we get on the way. El Dorado against Cold Snow. This is brought to you by 43 Esports. It's the Niger Delta Derby. El Dorado obviously using the team, donning white jerseys, white shorts, and of course white socks. And of course he bears the name Snow is your god. Represented the team fully kitted with red shirts, black shorts, and red socks. A chance there for Cold Snow to get in front, but 2 minutes played, and the first chance of the day sees it fall to cold as snow. But of course, the man is coming forward again. El Dorado, by the way, getting the first chance in that one. Cold as snow getting on the attack once again. Good string of passes in and around the area into the half of El Dorado. And cold as snow coming forward through. And he has a chance to get in front. And that is effectively dispatched. Cold snow in front in this one, and of course he gives the team Bayelsa the early blow, him as an early soccer blow to El Dorado.
Yeah, definitely. Eldorado having the first chance on the other end, and he wasn't able to capitalize. Snow getting his own chance, and of course Snow, one of the most deadliest finishers you would ever see, was able to slot that into the back of the net, and is currently in the lead against Eldorado.
El Dorado has a little bit of work to do, but that won't help. Snow coming forward again, and if he can beat this with a very good pass, it sends him through on goal, and he's through on goal, gets the shot away, and that is number 2. Just before 10 minutes, Himlas, could this be a whitewash?
Well, 10 minutes in, and we have already seen 2 goals from Snow. Like I said, Team Rivers have to watch out for defense. Snow was the highest goal scorer in the RSDL last season, and now he's here to actually continue with on that run, and you could see it here, 2 goals in the space of 7 minutes. And now, like you said, the whitewash is really, really possible.
Snow is proving you wrong.
Yeah, I might have underrated him a bit because
I think maybe his village will spoke to him after that.
I must have underrated him a bit too much because that wasn't what I expected. But then again, like I said, the last time they faced themselves was in the RSDL, and El Dorado came out on top in that fixture, 3-1. But like I said before, that was the 95 rated scene. This is the ultimate team scene. These are teams that they are used to playing at home and grinding out those probably in Division 1 or rivals. So it was definitely going to be a different kind of game today, and you can see that from the scoreline so far.
Yeah, less than 15 minutes into the game, and Snow leads El Dorado by 2-0. Team Bayelsa putting in the bit of work. Of course, this is the Niger Delta Derby. Team Rivers, 1 rivalry, 1 goal. Of course, 2 states, 1 champion against Team Bayelsa. This is brought to you, of course, by 43 Esports. And of course, the ultimate teams which these players are using are built with coins. So like you said, Himses, they know these teams in and out.
Yeah, they know the teams in and out. You could see the likes of Maradona and basically the likes of Goretzka, and these are special cards, probably team of the week cards, team of the season cards, and probably icon cards. So they went to the players that they feel most comfortable with, and I said the players they actually grind out at home with. So yeah, that's definitely what's happening.
We'll get back to the proceedings very, very shortly. But of course, don't forget, a lot of other players are still on standby to do justice to the rivalry we have on display today. Right now, Team Bayelsa, represented by Snow, leads El Dorado by 2-0. El Dorado representing Team Rivers. The rest of El Dorado's teammates in Team Rivers, Controller is there. Dexter also in the list. Fonzie and Doom. Doom, of course, is the gentleman coaching El Dorado right now, and it's not the best of smiles for those 2 gentlemen. For Team Bayelsa, hey, that's where the joy is. Chukuchuku is also somewhere around the area. Baba Laefa is also there. Mr. Morale, who is currently coaching Snow, and of course, PJ is also in and around the area for Team Bayelsa. Currently, Team Bayelsa having the lead in this one. It's the first game of the day. Snow against El Dorado. But Himsas, what does El Dorado have to do to get back into this one?
Right now I feel he needs to get his head in the game and shouldn't be discouraged by considering 2 goals in the first 10 minutes because there's something considering lots of goals happen does to you. It might actually make you disoriented, and you might happen to concede more then. But so I feel El Dorado should still try to keep his composure, and maybe just maybe you'd have a chance to actually get himself back in this game.
By the way, this is a 2-day event. Day 1, obviously, live on YouTube. We are live, and Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa is the Niger Delta Derby. Who will be crowned kings of the South? Currently, Team Bayelsa having the smiles on their faces against Team Rivers, but then, like him, as I said, do not rule out what El Dorado can do to get back into this one. Obviously, him. As Kodesno, the best approach he got into this one was to come out from the blocks all steaming, all hot, and that has worked out for him. And it seems like Eldorado is just a bit lost and does not know what's hit him at this point.
Yeah, definitely. And Kodesno would want to build on this, leading going ahead 2 goals. He knows he has the upper hand now. El Dorado would come out chasing the game. We should probably leave a lot of gaps in the defense. And Kodesno, like I said, one of the deadliest finishers you see out there, is definitely going to capitalize on those chances. And a blowout is probably very, very possible.
A blowout is very possible, but that is something that El Dorado would definitely not want. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Rivers, Team Bayelsa is the Niger Delta Derby. It's brought to you by 43 Esports, and we have a 5v5 against these respective teams. Team Bayelsa, Team Rivers. These two gentlemen currently on 6. El Dorado representing Team Rivers, and of course Kodesno representing Team Bayelsa. We'll begin proceedings again. So of course the players getting in their final touches for us to get back into the frenzy of everything that is transpiring in this one. So yeah, the restart gets to happen right now between El Dorado and Kodesno. See if El Dorado can maintain the same level of output which he did have in the previous one, or can Kodesno, if he does have the same level of output in the previous one, or can El Dorado get back into the thick of things? 8 minutes into things, and of course we restart proceedings. El Dorado wearing different kits right now. Maybe the kits gets to bring him a good bit of fortune. And of course, Kodesno wearing the kits, having of course the red shirts, black shorts, and red socks. Obviously, El Dorado donning an all darker shade of blue. Himself back on the way. What should we expect?
Well, I feel El Dorado has finally had a breather and will be able to probably get a goal or two for himself now. But one thing I've said before, he should try to mark those third man runs, because Kodesno is the master of those third man runs, and if he's able to actually track those runs, he maybe the goals would stop getting into his own net.
Kodesno coming forward again. He loses that one out, and El Dorado can hit on the counter. He can come forward, still in his own half, by the way, trying to string some passes together, and he could have some forward movement which he could capitalize on. Then he finds his way into the charge of El Dorado's half. Kodesno coming forward again, or El Dorado coming forward again into the 18-yard area, but it's cleared effectively by Kodesno, who can come forward once again. It seems like Kodesno's approach has a bit of goodwill towards everything, although El Dorado seems to be getting into the thick of things. But then Kodesno has just done things in the opening 10 minutes which could set him up for the rest of the game.
Yeah, like I feel that break kind of gave El Dorado a breather, and he was able to actually get himself back, because now you've seen him have more possession and probably have the best chance so far since the restart. And Kodesno is defended pretty well. Or for how long? Because how long can you keep El Dorado's attack out from scoring? I don't know, but we're about to see.
Kodesno coming forward, still in on the right hand side, ball sent to Stanisic and Maldini. Interchange of passes between him, Paqueta and Goretzka coming forward, back to centre back Campbell and to Paqueta. Of course, Kodesno moving the ball around pretty nicely here. He's the man Maradona, of course, led him, but then El Dorado intercepting that one, and of course he has to get back into the game as soon as possible. Him as a goal before halftime has to be effectively necessary.
Yeah, it has to be really effectively necessary for El Dorado. But from what I'm seeing, Kodesno is able to just track those runs and position his players perfectly to intercept almost every line breaking pass that El Dorado tries to put forward, and El Dorado will have to find other solutions, because now it seems those true balls.
And El Dorado is coming forward, gets the shot away. Narrow miss. Very big chance for El Dorado to get back into the game, but sails just narrowly wide. Far from Kodesno was lucky there.
Yeah, really lucky. I was saying he was tracking and blocking those line breaking passes, but then El Dorado, I feel that was an incisive through pass there, and one-on-one with the goalkeeper. You'd expect someone like El Dorado to bury that in the back of the net, and he just didn't. And I'm sure he knows that things might go from bad to worse here, because if you don't take chances on your own end, Kodesno is definitely going to help you take them on his own end.
El Dorado coming forward, intercepts that one, and is able to restart play. Chip ball towards the right back is Dumfries, who he has placed in proceedings. Eldorado looking to string some passes to come forward here, and he can do that effectively. It's 2v1 on the right hand side, getting into the 18-yard area. A little bit of skill and trickery there to get him away from defender. Shot comes, but Kodesno, his defense has been really good in this one, I have to say that.
Yeah, really good. He's been defending really well, but there's still lots of times for anything to happen. I feel how long can he keep Eldorado's attack out from scoring? I don't know. So it's left to be seen.
Kodesno coming forward again, 1-on-1 with the keeper, but ruled out for offside, and the play gets to restart. Good one there from Kodesno, just couldn't beat the offside trap set by Eldorado, who restarts play and is coming forward here. Dumfries is the player who has him on the right back position. Coming forward, Eldorado looking to put some passes together. He's through on goal. He has the chance. And that is a fantastic save from Jean Garcia, who is the goalkeeper representing Kodesno in this one. Kodesno looking a bit agitated with some of the openings. His defense could present chance to Eldorado to come forward, and Kodesno can have his own attack of his own, but he's intercepted by Eldorado. Eldorado now looking to get his mojo back into this one. Some forward ones are looking really nice in this one, but Kodesno obviously defending very well, but that was a very good chance from Eldorado. This is how you can open up the defense of Kodesno.
Yeah, a really good chance, and that's the second of the game for him, and he's happened to score a grand total of 0 goals from those two really good chances. Like I said, Kodesno, how long can he keep Eldorado's attack from scoring? He's getting the chances, but he's not capitalizing on them, and he needs to really fix that up, because if Kodes gets another goal, I feel it's game over.
Eldorado coming forward on the left hand side, looking to use a bit of trickery to get away from the defenders. Sends the ball forward into the channel edge of the D now. Could get the shot away, but still needs to wriggle his way around the defense because of Kodesno. Kodesno really defending well in this one, but Eldorado still trying to open up this defense. Edge of the D now into the 18-yard area. Intercepted very nicely once again, but how long? The attack keeps coming forward, and of course, the chance finally has paid off. And this is what Kodesno should have avoided. It was piling, and finally Eldorado has his own pound of flesh.
Yeah, he finally gets the goal for himself, and it's that woman, Claudia Pina. This woman is basically broken in this AFC 26, and you could see why he opted for her up front. And of course, if there was any player to get him the goal, it was definitely going to be her. And now he seems to be getting his groove back, and maybe he does have a chance to get something out of this game.
What Mr. Morale could be messaging to Kodesno is keep calm, keep focus, restart as you've done in the opening 10 minutes. That's what he's doing. He's coming forward here. Ronaldinho into the penalty area, gets a shot, but then very fantastic save from Iker Casillas, represented in goal for Eldorado. Still 2-1. A couple of minutes to halftime. The next goal will be very crucial. Him as it's Zidane Nicoliza, or it's a goal to stretch the man known as Snow is your god, Kodesno. He got the shot away, but blocked effectively by the defense of Eldorado. He still come forward though, not to be deterred. Lucas Paquetá representing him in midfield. Maldini sends it towards Leon Goretzka, and he can attack down the right hand side. Ball sent into the 18-yard area. Olise, and the header comes away straight at the goalkeeper. For him, as the next goal is very crucial. Zidane Nicoliza, it's a goal to stretch Kodesno's lead. But hold your thoughts for a second there, because Eldorado is coming forward into the left hand side, chipped into goal, and what a fantastic piece of finish that is. It's 2-2. I was saying the next goal is crucial, and we've had that next goal.
Yeah, if there was one thing he should do, is not to rush out this man Eldorado out. And you can see ever since we returned from the break, he's had the upper hand, and he's finally gotten himself those 2 goals, and the game is back level, and now it's open. Any player could take the win from here on out.
Right, any player could take the win. Not before 2 minutes before halftime. We'll see how much of time will be added for these 2 players. But that is a very good ball into the 18. That is an effective finish, and that was a brilliant goal from inception, from start to finish. It's 3-2. Kodesno leads by the odd goal in 5. But then, him says he did not need to be deterred. He obviously had a way back. Just keep his focus, and he's gotten back into the lead.
Yeah, definitely what he would have wanted. I'm sure considering those 2 goals happened to kind of put him off, but he was able to get a goal at least before the end of the first half. And now going into the first half, or going into halftime with the lead, probably will make some changes and try to adjust 1 or 2 to make sure that he stays with that lead and probably get away with the win.
Well, it's halftime now between Kodesno and Eldorado. Coda Snow came out of the blocks flying. 2 early goals inside 10 minutes. And of course, Emmanuel Dorado refused to be dropped. Did equalize, but then Coda Snow got back into the lead just before halftime. It's 3-2. Interesting to see what both managers have told their players. Of course, Mr. Morale, the manager of Coda Snow, and El Dorado, the manager of, or Doom, the manager of El Dorado. Himsas, what should we expect in the second half?
Well, I'm seeing a very, very open game. That's a one goal deficit, and Eldorado will be looking to come back into this game. He's done it once. Can he do it the second time? On the other hand, Coda Snow will be looking to see maybe if he can get himself clear in this fixture against Eldorado to see if he can get that win for Team Bayelsa.
Coda Snow coming into the box. The shot is cleared effectively, and of course we are live on YouTube, and I'll be reading some of your comments very, very shortly. But that is a brilliant ball, and El Dorado comes, and it's another chip ball, and it's another brilliant goal once again. This is looking to be his specialty, ladies and gentlemen. We are in for a treat. It's 3-all, less than 15 minutes on the clock. But then we have a fantastic, finely poised second half. Himself, El Dorado back on the scene.
Yeah, Eldorado back on the scene. Like I said before, this guy, you shouldn't write him out after going 2 goals down, and you see he got the equalizer, and then again he's done it again. I said he had done it the first time, can he do it again? And he immediately answered the question, and now 3-0, and it's basically a very, very open game now.
Oscar Aku says we are active for PJ, and Mr. Morale Legbe Precious also says we're active for Bayelsa. The Bayelsa faithfuls in and around everywhere. But ladies and gentlemen, I will be reading more of your comments. Eldorado coming forward, looking to be in the lead for the first time it will be in this game. But it's a lovely ball forward into the area, intercepted brilliantly. And of course, Egbe Precious still saying PJ. And of course, go Bayelsa. That is from Bobola Yefa. Of course, Upele says go Bayelsa. And of course, Codesno coming forward, looking to see how he can get in front in this one. It's an effective tackle from Eldorado, who seems to be getting back into this one. That halftime break has worked to full effect. Eldorado coming forward into the penalty area. Similar chance. Almost got past the goalkeeper, but Jean Garcia was able to stretch, get that one. Codesno can come forward. Maradona down to Ronaldinho, legends. I mean, this is what the ultimate team is all about. But that is a fantastic interception from Dumfries, handled by the man Eldorado. He's coming forward now, looking to put some passes together. He's still in the middle of park into his own half. And he's effectively opening up that midfield. Now ball towards the right hand side. He will send that one forward into the penalty area. James is in there, looks to drop someone back on the edge of the D, but it's back into the penalty area. Got the shot away, boys, blocked by Codesno, who seemed to be hitting on the counter more in this second half himself.
Yeah, like I said from the beginning, this guy Eldorado always wants to have up possession, and you can see it in this game. It's no different. Codesno needed to work with the counters, and that's exactly what he's been doing. It's how he's gotten his first 2 goals, and will probably be how he gets any more goals if he's to get them out of this game.
Lots of comments on our YouTube channel, but not before I call this one, but it's a good shot blocked. And of course, Shockers Gaming says, Bayelsa, let's get it. Shockers Gaming is also saying Codest. Let's get it, of course, pitching his tent with Codesno, though he did bottle a 2-goal lead in the first half. And of course, he's coming forward here into the penalty area. Very big chance. That is a good, brilliant interception, but the follow-up shot did not hit its intended target. Oscar Aku also says, W. Milia in the chat. Dante Wyatt also says, get in. Yeah, we are obviously active for all of this. Obvious Creativity says, Codesno. I know saying no before. Obviously, Oscar Aku is saying Codes conceding cheap goals. Share the same sentiment, himself. Codes conceding some cheap goals. I'll get your thoughts on that one. But then, Codesno, that is the commentator's course though. I get to eat my words. He does score an emphatic goal, but it's not about scoring. It's about retaining your lead. Him, as I was saying, Codesno, it's not been defended well. Complaints saying he's been conceding cheap goals.
I wouldn't really say they were cheap goals. These were goals perfectly crafted from Eldorado himself. You could see almost every goal happened to come out the same way. The cheap shot after passing, cutting Codesno's defenders out and releasing that through pass. Codes trying to get his goalkeeper to shorten the distance between the players and the goal, and Eldorado would always opt for the cheap. So I wouldn't say they were cheap goals.
Something of a finesse finish tried by Koda Snow there. Didn't work out to full effect. But hey, we love and appreciate all of your messages on YouTube. Keep it coming. I'll be reading it and giving you all of the special mentions for dropping all of those lovely messages. You can do well to drop your predictions as well. We'll take everything here right now on this particular square off. Eldorado coming forward into the penalty area. Looks to drop that on the edge of the D. That's brilliantly exchanged. Ladies and gentlemen, what can I say? That is the equalizer. We've seen 10 goals in this one. And my, oh my, I don't want this to end. We're into a grandstand finish. And we can safely say, if this is the quality of gaming we will be getting, you have to sit back, relax, grab your popcorns, and chill with us here at 43 Esports. Code Snow coming forward. Just over 10 minutes left to play of normal time. Michael Olise now looking to do the business for him. Code Snow, oh, that is brilliant. That is brilliant. He is back in front. It's 6-5. And he has to contain this himself now. He has to just lead.
Yeah, at this point, it seems every time he goes on the attack, a goal is bound to happen. And you can see there every time. Basically, you could say the last 4 shots he's had, he scored about 4 goals. And that's being clinical is next level for Code Snow in this game.
Next level clinical finishing clinic. Here we have on display in the first game of the day, Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa. Code Snow is making Team Bayelsa proud. Of course, Eldorado has to put in a bit of work to get back into the game for Team Rivers. He's coming forward here on the left-hand side, looking to use a little bit of trickery to get away from his marker. But then he has done that, and the ball forward effectively towards the left-hand channel. Stanisic intercepts quite brilliantly, but then it falls out for a corner to a little bit of alterations to make. Of course, the coaches have their inputs in what these two gentlemen will be doing. Don't forget the coach of Eldorado is Doom, who's giving him all of the bits of advice that he can be using in this one. Code Snow, his manager, Mr. Morale. But for you, himself, what needs to change as we head into a grandstand finish, the final section of this game in the second half? What needs to change for Eldorado for him to equalize in this one? And how can Code Snow see this one over the line?
Well, Eldorado, he's been chasing the game right from the start, and now he's still chasing the game. About 10 minutes left in game time. I feel he should just probably defend a bit better and try to get that goal. He's someone that we know he can get that goal because of his style of play, his build up. He wants to have possession. He's looking for those passes in behind the defense, and you could see it from most of his goals. So I feel if he's able to get the possession and get that goal finally, he would just probably want to opt for a draw in this game. I don't know.
Some of the comments making rounds on our YouTube. Oscar could say it's precision wine on for there. Shockers Gaming also says getting Joe Egbe Precious. See you. You are still doing the business of being very active on our YouTube channel. Ovis Creativity says, I know you never fail me. Egbe Precious says Codes, and he's really, really hot for him in that one. Of course, Egbe Precious also says Bayelsa to win. Oscar Aku is also in around, says Wahala. And King Non says, where the restrictions, get that back to you. But the game is back on, and a throw for Code Snow still leading this one 6-5. The odd goal in 11. I think 11 goals emanates from this one. But hey, we're heading into the grandstand finish. Ball forward now. Code Snow coming forward. Ball towards the left hand side. Declan Rice on the edge of the area just to get that one tidily into the 18-yard area. It's intercepted brilliantly. Eldorado just has a few over 5 minutes to get back into this one of normal time, by the way. Coming forward now is Eldorado. Can he get that much desired goal? That is a brilliant pass into the area. He can't get the equalizer here. Disappointment for Code Snow. Absolute ecstasy and delight for Eldorado. Himself 5 minutes to go. Who can go and get that winner?
Like I said, Eldorado was bound to score because his build up is something Codes hasn't been able to cope with. But now the question is can he stop Code Snow's attack? Because every time Code Snow has gone forward in the second half, a goal has come out.
Alright, Code Snow trying to come forward, but Eldorado shows some very, very good bit of defending and is coming forward here. He knows there is little under 120 seconds to go for this one, normal time. He is trying to put in good work, brilliant interchange of passes, still on the edge of the area, looking for that opening, as he has tried to do in this one. He comes forward now on the edge of the D, intercepted by Code Snow. 60 seconds is all that remains of normal time. But Cold Snow is coming for Paqueta on the ball. A little bit of magic on the feet of the Brazilian. Will that aid his course? Ball forward to Magnifico Bruno Fernandes. But Cold Snow, the build up has to be effective. It has to be fast because it's just 1 minute of injury time that has been added. This one, 30 seconds of that left to play on the edge of the area. Brilliant ball forward. Oh my God, that was a fantastic save. Jump, skip of the hearts there. That could have been the winner.
I can
That
tell
could
you,
have been it.
El Dorado's heart sank as that shot went off, and he'll be really, really glad that his goalkeeper was able to send that out for a corner. Maybe.
Taking short chance for Cold Snow to get a win in this one into the 18-yard area on the right hand side. Declan Rice trying to wriggle his way around the defense. Maradona has a space, gets the shot, is blocked. Tell your seeds, we do not see an end to this just yet. One more chance, one more to go. Elise on the left hand side into the 18-yard area. Cold Snow looking for a bit of space. Bedlam! Absolute chaos! Snow is the god! He rules! El Dorado denied! In precious Shaheen so desperately searched for, prayed for, but then chill as ice is he. Cold Snow getting the winner. 93 minutes. Seems as you could not write this script any better.
Definitely the script writers, they actually cooked with this one, because who would have thought that this game would go down to the last minute and Cold Snow getting the win in the very, very last second of the game. El Dorado trying everything possible to be able to defend that corner. Cold Snow taking the corner shot. The goalkeeper saved the first time, and the second time he wasn't that lucky. Cold Snow burying that shot into the top corner, and now Cold Snow was able to get the win and has put Bayelsa on track, just like they would have wanted.
If this is the quality of gaming we would see, this is what we want to see. Ladies and gentlemen, Cold Snow getting the win over El Dorado. 7 goals to 6. The odd goal in 13. This is outstanding. You're in for a treat because there's more of this to come. The best gamers in Team Rivers, the best gamers in Team Bayelsa. Ladies and gentlemen, these guys will be putting on a full display for us to delight in. Games, as like I said, if this is what is going to be the track record of today, I am seated.
Yeah, I say the first game has already given us this could actually go on to be one of the best games we've played today. But like I said, it's the first game, and we are in for lots of surprises in the remaining fixtures. But I think it's possible you should stay glued to your screen, because if the first game could give you this showdown, imagine what the rest would actually give you.
Very, very interesting. The first game, Cold Snow putting Bayelsa 1 ahead against Team Rivers. Team Rivers have to get back into the thick of things. But then, hey, what do you think went wrong for the man El Dorado in this one?
The fact that he was chasing the game right from the start up until the very last second. I feel if he was able to get ahead at a point in this game, it would have given him the kind of groove he would have wanted. But unfortunately for him, every time he tries to come back into the game, Cold Snow was on the other end, getting a goal for himself and going ahead once again. And that's exactly how the game was played throughout. And he should just fix up his defending, because his defending was kind of really poor in this first fixture. And I'm sure he would look and try to see what he did wrong and get himself ready for the next game.
What do you think gave Cold Snow the edge over El Dorado in this game?
One thing, like I said, Cold Snow, this guy, he's a counter-attacking demon. You can see there, almost all his goals were coming from quick counter-attacks. El Dorado wanting to have more possession, trying to find all those sneaky passes into Cold Snow's box. But once Cold Snow got the ball, he was ready to go 3-4 passes, and he's on the other end of the pitch trying to finish into the top corner. And that's basically what happened throughout this entire game.
Right, we'll be going over to Khan, who is with Cold Snow, and of course to have an interview after this one. We'll be right back.
Unexpected turn of events here in the studio as Bayelsa draws first goal. I mean, Andy representing Bayelsa, Cold Snow is a dangerous player, and of course, El Dorado is the athlete representing, or was the athlete representing River State in the very first match of this tournament. But sadly, I think El Dorado lost narrowly, to Otis. No, Otis. This is it, right? How does this feel for you, putting your state in the lead?
It feels very exciting to
Thank
because
you.
my opponent was a very good player, honestly, and I had to I had to check on the lead 4 good times for me to have won the match. So it's a very exciting win for me. It's very exciting. And it was a last minute winner. So to me, very happy, very exciting.
Okay, I think because we're having two states face off against each other, I have to use two microphones so just so we get it correctly. El Dorado, I know you're feeling let down right now, but what would you have done differently? I mean, you went down too many times in the game. There was a two-goal lead, and then you leveled, and then you somehow in the dying moments of the game, you kind of like fell aside. So, what would you have done differently now that you're off the hot seat?
I started the game wrongly. It was just those 2 goal leads. So I don't feel like I have anything else to put. Sha. I played good.
Okay, fine. This is just the very first game of the tournament, and you still have an opportunity to do your state proud. So let's. What's the key takeaway from this first game, and what are you going to do differently going forward?
I'm not trying to be pessimistic, but I'm feeling a little bit let down, yes. But the next opponent should be wary of me.
The next opponent should be wary of this. Eldorado is characteristically a very charismatic player, but seeing him in low spirits and all that should signal something to the next opponent. It's either you will kill him or you'll kill you. It's very simple. And Coders, this opener has given you the momentum you need. Do you think you can ride? Do you think you can sustain the wave? Going into the next match, to beat the next opponent and still giving your state the edge.
Yeah, 100%. That's for sure. I can keep on with the winning streak. So I'm 100% confident that I'm going to win my next games.
Guys, you heard it here. It's been Khan, and I've had with me Coda Snow and El Dorado, the representatives of the individual states. So we'll head straight to the next gamers as they try to either level up or extend the lead. Bye.
Much can. And obviously, we're going to get back into the thick of things. But hey, James, as I like to pick your brains off the respective interviews, Eldorado seems quite confident in his abilities. He's not allowing that loss deter him.
Yeah, Eldorado is the kind of player who always he's always on the talking side. He's the one that he will actually bring the game to you before the game actually happens with his words. And unfortunately for him today, he wasn't able to actually back up his talk. But like he said, he felt that he played well and he wouldn't have changed much to get the win for himself. But it's left to be seen. He said his next opponent should be wary of him, and that he heard it from Khan. It's either he kills the opponent or the opponent kills him. So yeah, I'm sure he's ready. I'm sure he's going to go and try to get himself back in this so that it doesn't really affect him mentally. And I'll have to be seen.
Kodesno seems to be pleased. Part of his performance is expressed humility, of course. And after emanating from that win, which he just had against El Dorado, do you think there's still some parts of his game which he needs to put in check and control about?
Well, the coldest though we know from the RSD, was not the kind of guy to concede lots of goals. But today's game, he conceded 5 goals to El Dorado. But then again, you can say it's El Dorado, one of the very best or the very attacking-minded players that you'd ever see. So I wouldn't really hold it against Coldest no conceding 5 goals, but maybe one thing is for sure that the other games are not going to be easier. So I feel his defense should be a bit better because the defense of Kodesno we saw in the RSDL is not the same that we've seen so far in this first game.
Interesting thoughts there, but of course, the first game of the Niger Delta Derby, Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa, has seen Kodesno give the bragging rights to Team Bayelsa. Odd goal in 13. No, I didn't mince my words. 13 goals were scored in that particular affair between Kodesno and El Dorado, but ultimately Kodesno with a late winner to seal it 7 goals to 6 against El Dorado for Team Rivers. So Team Rivers now on the deficit, now on the chasing end, but Team Bayelsa in the leading pack. They will look to extend their lead, of course, in the next matchup, which comes up in a couple of minutes. But then, for you, himself, what do you think? Who do you think Team Rivers need to stand up in order to revitalize their chances?
Well, there are many good gamers on Team Rivers. We have the likes of Dexter, Doom, and we still have Controller. So I feel any of those three players, or even Fonzie, any of the four could get a job done and probably get Team Rivers their first win of this campaign. Because left to be seen. Because one thing is for sure, Team Bayelsa now they have all the confidence. Coders to giving them that first win, and now they'll be high on confidence. So they want to build up with that. So it's not going to be easy for Team Rivers.
Not gonna be easy for the rest of the gentlemen. By the way, in case you don't know, the gentlemen which make up Team Rivers El Dorado lost his first game. By the way, to go there's no 7 goals to 6. But the rest of the gentlemen who are yet to do the business, Controller is there, Dexter is also there, Fonzie is there, Doom, who was the manager who led El Dorado to a loss. So that's him. He's also there. For Team Bayelsa, Chuku Chuku is there. Baba Laefa is also there. Mr. Morale, who did lead his man, talking about School Destiny to victory, is there. And PJ is also there. Let's head straight to the beautiful looking Milia. I'll get back to you.
Still on the Niger Delta Derby Day 1, I have with me one of Bayelsa's most I don't even know how to describe this player right now, Mr. PJ. I really don't need to ask how you're doing or how you're feeling because I can see that you are on maximum steeze and composure this morning. But how do you feel about the first game? I saw you all gingered, all worked up about the game. How do you feel about that game?
Yeah, I felt so good that Team Bayelsa could be the first team to land a punch, and I believe that we are going to go all the way. But I'm definitely sure we're not going to take any losses today.
You're definitely sure you're not going to take any losses today. Hmm. Let's look out for that. And moving on, yeah, what should we expect from you? What should the fans of Bayelsa expect from you in particular as a player or as an athlete in this competition?
Well, the fans already know what I'm all about. Expect goals because I'm going to demolish everybody I play, especially you, Dexter.
Okay, Desta, watch out for PJ. He said he's going to demolish you. Let's see how the demolition goes. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much.
I would love to see the confidence on display, and you think he walks the talk, doesn't he?
Yeah, oh, that's vintage PJ there. It doesn't matter. He might end up losing his first game, but he's going to say, go to demolish the next opponent. And the next opponent should actually still be weary because this is a guy that every statement he's made, he finds a way to actually back it up. And now so whoever is facing first in this game is probably thinking about a lot because PJ, like you said, should expect goals, and goals we will definitely see from that guy's fixture.
And what's that rivalry with Dexter? He did point out Dexter though, especially you. I mean, so much for the mentor-mentee relationship.
Yeah, I'm not now. I don't feel PJ is actually the mentor to Dexter, but I think the rivalry stems from the just concluded RSPL because at the point in the RSPL, PJ was on the top of the table and he felt maybe I finally have my hand on this trophy, but then he fell short to Machala and Richie. Those two guys, he dropped points against Richie and he lost to Machala. And Dexter was able to reclaim the top spot and run away with the RSPL trophy. So I feel PJ, ever since then, he's had this rivalry with Dexter. He's not been able to get his hands on him yet, but maybe in this Niger Delta Derby, he'll finally be able to show why he feels he's the best gamer in River State.
Between those two, because that seems to be the talk of the town now, especially as PJ has raised it up. I have to capitalize on that fire. Who's the better gamer? Your thoughts?
My thoughts, I'll go with who has a trophy currently in Dexter because being consistent over a couple of weeks is different from just one-off game. And you could see Dexter, he was consistent for 4 weeks and was able to come out on top. So it's really, really close because on PJ's day, he can demolish anybody he comes up against. On his day, this guy probably walked through everyone everyone in the studio. I'm not even joking. So, about like I said, it's something about the momentum. Dexter over a straight amount of time is definitely better in my opinion, as we could see in the RSPL, in which he came out victorious.
All right, this is still the Niger Delta Derby. Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa. Like I said before the start of all of this, obviously El Dorado seemed to be the favorite against Coda Snow, but you throw away the statistics, throw out the odds, leave it out at your doorstep, because this is a rivalry that runs deep. Who will be the kings of the South? South, we will see. Team Bayelsa in front. PJ said they're not going to lose a single match in all of this.
Well, that's PJ for you, of course. PJ, he always talks, like I said, he always talks, and it's left for the players to back up whatever he said. So we're about to see. One thing is for sure that Team Rivers also don't want to lose. They've already lost the first game, and now they need to get those points up, and they'll be looking to get a win in this next fixture.
Right, the next fixture coming up in the next couple of minutes. Fonzie lines up against Mr. Morale, and this is going to be one cracking one. Him's, your thoughts on this one? Fonzie against Mr. Morale. Who gets the upper hand?
I know earlier you asked me a matchup between these two guys who was coming out on top, and I said this was a very, very even matchup. Fonzie, the kind of guy not to be so flashy with his passes or anything. Mr. Morale, on the other end, like he has one of the best directional runs you'd see in the game, and now I feel it's going to be a very, very even game, and maybe just maybe Fonzie will probably have the edge in this fixture.
Right, proceedings set to begin very, very shortly. Fonzie against Mr. Morale. Mr. Morale, fueled with experience, and of course, everything comes alongside that. But he would look to give Bayelsa an advantage of 2, as opposed to, if Fonzie cannot get this one, Rivers will be stuck on 0. But currently, the Bayelsa lead 1-0. Mr. Morale looking to stretch their lead. Fonzie, will he be getting Team Rivers back into this one? We are on the way. Fonzie retains the same strip for Team Rivers, all dark shade of blue. And of course, Mr. Morale decides to change the shorts this time around. No black shorts, it's all red. Fonzie coming forward, and he gets on the edge of the D right now to Bruno Guimaraes, the man on the ball on the left-hand side, gets his way into the penalty area, sets the pass, but it's brilliantly intercepted. Mickey van der Ven, the gentleman used by Mr. Morale to retrieve and see out that danger. He comes forward, string of passes between Sergio and Colocante to Openda. Colocante, the man operated by Mr. Morale, representing team by Lionel Messi. Some will say the greatest of all time. Penalty into the ball into the penalty area, but then a shot just goes wide left of Fonzie's goal. Of course, the man he has opted to put in goal is Iker Casillas. Fonzie trying to string some passes in his own half. Ball from Guimaraes sent forward towards the left-hand side, and has finally made his way into Mr. Morale's own half. A good bit of passing there. Forward pass, spotted the forward run, obviously, but is intercepted. Once again, 2 brilliant interceptions by Mr. Morale coming forward, but this is a very, very good bit of play by Mr. Morale coming into the penalty area from the left-hand side through Mitoma. A ball squared for Conte. Conte return pass to him. Messi back to Mitoma. He still has the ball on the edge of the penalty area, this time on the edge of the D. N'Golo Conte helping that one, but Mr. Morale looking to put some good bit of passes to open up. Fonzie comes forward. That is a brilliant opened up pass, but the extra bit of skill seemed unnecessary as that has been intercepted. Now, also, Mr. Morale had to retrieve that from Fonzie. Him just 10 minutes into this one. It just seems both players are just trying to ease their way into the game, trying to put some passes together. Not necessarily a lot of openings in this one.
Mr. Morale did have a really, really good chance early on in the game to get a goal for himself, and he wasn't able to capitalize on that. But I feel he's had the upper hand in this game. He's trying to create those chances, and Fonzie is still trying to be able to contain Mr. Morale's attack. And so far, so good. So far, he's out failing to do that, because every time Mr. Morale is on the attack, he seems to almost get a goal, and probably sooner rather than later, he'll get that goal for himself.
All right. Coming forward now is Mr. Morale on this one. The ball towards the left-hand side. Mitoma How's that one? But then ball ricocheting in around the area. Semenyo can get straight for the shot. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. And himself, Mr. Morale in front. Any surprises there?
Well, from the way he's played, this is different from the Mr. Morale so in the RSD last season. This guy in this game, he's been all over Fonzie. Fonzie is finding it hard to cope, and it was only a matter of time before Mr. Morale was able to get a goal for himself, and now he leads this game 1-0.
All right, Mr. Morale in front in this one. Fonzie looking to get back into the game. He has a chance. That is a brilliant save. Oh, but I'd hold my horses there for a bit because it's offside. Mr. Morale, a bit of warning shots there. Of course, they say you're most vulnerable when you get into the lead. He has to get a second goal effectively. Brilliant bit of pass into the penalty area. Come back. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. That is why he is referred to as the greatest of all time. Not Mr. Morale, though, the man who gets the goal for him, Lionel Messi. And he emulates the celebration himself. Mr. Morale is in a position of comfort.
At this point, from Fonzie is getting free mugged by Mr. Morale because he's had the upper hand right from the start, and I feel those two goals have actually been for the run of play. We don't say against the run of play because Mr. Morale has he's been different in this particular game. This is not the Mr. Morale we saw in the RSDL, like I said earlier. This guy in the RSDL, he was losing games in which you would have expected him to win. But now with the ultimate team, you can see that he's back, and now you can see 2 goals against Fonzie, and it's still a long way because this guy could actually get a lot more goals with the way he's playing.
Right, still 2-0. Mr. Morale leads in this one. Fonzie, obviously the man to get back into this one. Team Bayelsa have the advantage in this one. It's 2-0. And yeah, calm. Oh, I think you also need to be calm. Mr. Morale doing something to eventually put himself ahead. Doom is the coach for Fonzie, and is the man not leading them to victory. He's leading them to a loss. The confidence exudes from the veins of Mr. Morale. Bayelsa, 2 goals up in the game. Mr. Morale representing them. And of course, Bayelsa up by 2.
Well, at this point, it's shaky for Team Rivers because they already lost the first game, El Dorado against Coldest Snow, and now Mr. Morale having the upper hand against Fonzie. Fonzie, who got himself into the Elite League from finishing 5th in the first edition of the RSPL. You'd have expected that since this guy is in the Elite League, he should probably be raw dogging Mr. Morale. Mr. Morale, who just scrapped a win on the final match day to get himself into the RSPL from just concluded RSDL, and now he's actually ahead of Fonzie, and it's dark times for Team Rivers, I must say.
Dark times for Team Rivers. They have to get back into this one. It is a necessity at this point in time. They have to put in the works. They have to get things done, and everything has to be on point. Fonzie has not created a lot of chances, I have to be honest, apart from that ruled out for offside. How does he get back into this one?
Well, I'm sure this break will probably give him the time to think, just the way it gave El Dorado time to think, to see if he gets himself back into the game against Coldest. So I'm sure Doom is showing him and putting him through the ropes and trying to tell him, okay, you should focus more on this and you should do this and don't do this. Now it's left to be seen if he can get himself back in the game once it restarts.
Is this a Doom problem? Because he was with El Dorado at the start, lost. Now Fonzie is losing. Is that something Doom needs to be telling his players other than what he's doing now?
I don't feel it's a Doom problem because Doom is one of the best we've ever seen in the gaming community, especially here in Rivers State. I just feel the Bayelsa players so far are better because it's not normal. It's not normal. You would have expected someone like Fonzie to actually give this game an even matchup, but so far like I said, he's getting absolutely free-mugged by Mr. Morale, and it doesn't seem like that's what he wants. Once the game restarts, I'm sure he would look to see if he can get himself back into the fixture and probably get that equalizer early on, because I'm sure that equalizer is really, really important in this game.
Very, very important. The next goal, obviously, as they say, the term football, firstly, as it relates now, esports, the next goal is crucial. Mr. Morale, could he get that one? Fonzie, would he be able to get that? We're ready to see. But obviously, this is still the Niger Delta Derby. Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa. Team Bayelsa got the first win of the day. The man known as Cold as Snow getting a 7-6 win. 7-6 win against El Dorado, putting Bayelsa ahead in this one. And of course, we are seeing the second clash of the day on display. Fonzie currently losing to Mr. Morale, and of course, get back into proceedings very, very shortly. But hey, Himses, what has stood out for you from the first game? What is maybe standing out for you in the second game? And of course, it's goals delight as we are promised on the day.
Yeah, I'll speak about this particular game, Mr. Morale and Fonzie. I've seen lots of runs down the flank from Mr. Morale, and it seems like Fonzie's defense isn't tracking it so well because every time Mr. Morale releases that true pass, there's basically no right back from Fonzie's team to actually cover those runs, and Mr. Morale is always just one cut back away from getting a goal from himself. You could see it from the first chance he had in the game, which he apparently flopped his shot, but then again the chance fell with that cutback and was able to get himself those two goals. And it's dark times, like I said earlier. Team Rivers have to really fix up their defense because it could go from bad to worse from here.
It could be Mr. Morale is not the man who would be having it worse for himself, by the way. It's Fonzie who could be doing that. Of course, you talked about the experience of Mr. Morale at the start, and of course, showing now, first off, guiding Codesno to win, now taking matters into his own hands for Team Bayelsa. Obviously, you pointed out Team Bayelsa have the advantage due to the quality of players on display, but then Team Rivers, are they not stepping up to the plate?
I would really put it that way. It just seems like Team Bayelsa just have the edge. Team Rivers a bit shaky and could say a bit rusty as well because Team Bayelsa they've gone for the early goals and it seems that was the plan. Get a couple of goals in the first 10 minutes, and from then on out, you can build up to whatever the match result is going to be. But one thing is for sure, once I'm getting those two goals in the first and the early stages of the game would obviously destabilize the opponent, and you could see it in the first fixture. Eldorado kind of destabilized, but he tried to fight it and get back in the game. In the end, Coder Snow just needed a last minute goal, and now I'm Fonzie behind Mr. Morale. I really don't know what Fonzie needs to do. I feel he should just try to defend a bit better and try to attack, make his passes a bit cleaner because most of his passes have been so inaccurate so far.
Inaccurate passes has been the limitation for the man. But then, if you don't know the rest of the players, obviously you've heard El Dorado losing for Team Rivers at the start. Fonzie currently losing. It's not just raining, it's pouring for Team Rivers. That's all the way. Anyways, the other gentleman do the business for Team Rivers. Controller Dexter Doom is also there, and for Team Bayelsa, Codesno chilling wherever he is now after getting a 7-6 win at the start against El Dorado. Currently is Mr. Morale on seats for Team Bayelsa. The rest of the players for Team Bayelsa, Chukuchuku is around there. Babalaefa is also here, and PJ also in and around the area. Resumption of activities 20 minutes into this one. Mr. Morale leading by 2-0. And of course, Fonzie coming forward now towards the right hand side, intercepted brilliantly. Dave is there. Conte can give it to Semenyo as he does come forward. Mr. Morale operating his own bit of players, running the strings on the pitch. On the left hand side is Bitoma, sent back and returned to the favor towards the left hand side. Mr. Morale looking to bring some good bit of passes on the edge of the D. Now is N'Golo Conte. Conte receiving back towards the line of Messi. My days have Messi towards the left hand side is Bitoma. Bitoma sent towards Sergio Messi. Ball into the area. Openda finds his way. Wriggles, teases the shot, fakes out, and he's still in the area. Gets the shot, but it's blocked. And Dumfries sends it back to Casillas as Fonzie is able to deal with that threat from Mr. Morale coming forward on the left hand side. He's lost that one. And of course, interception falls out for a goal kick. 25 minutes into this one, and Fonzie look to build from the back, taking short to the left hand side of the defense. Hanchko is the man. Of course, he can come forward of the left hand side. Chawinga is there on the left hand side. The lady looking to come forward. Pina is recipient on the ball now. Finds a bit of space. That forward ball could have come in, but hey, you can always take it slowly and steadily. That's the man Fonzie is doing. McKenny now looking to find a bit of space, just a half yard to get pass away. Brings a little bit of pass, but of course, Mr. Morale keeping all things in check as he can now come forward on the counter. Openda is the man holding this one towards the left hand side. Is Mitoma. Mitoma finds Lois Openda once again. Karu Mitoma was intercepted, but he got that one back. Semenyo now on the edge of the D. Mr. Morale can come forward. Teases that one, but decides to recycle and it does. Rely on Messi. That was really, really close. From Antoine Semenyo. Mr. Morale sending one-in shots to Fonzie. Hey, you can't string passes. And of course, he will take things into his hands. Half hour gone here. Of course, it is still going down. Yet to see a goal though, Himses. But then,
like I said, I'm sorry. You would have expected Fonzie would come back into this game in a different kind of feeling, but it's been all Mr. Morale right from the break and up until this moment. Mr. Morale still having the upper hand. Yeah, we're yet to see a goal. Mr. Morale having the clearest of chances so far since the restart, but he wasn't able to capitalize on that. But he will look to change that real soon.
Right, Mr. Morale coming forward, kick ball into the penalty area. That's an efficient shot, but then it's offside. Disappointment there. There would have been 3 ahead in this one. But Fonzie yet to have any good use of attacking this one. Mr. Morale, a little bit of step over there through Alfonso Davis. Interchange of passes between Konate, Sergio. And of course, Alfonso Davis, he can come forward and N'Golo Kante in the middle of the park to Lionel Messi. Messi now to Mitoma. Mr. Morale coming forward on the left-hand side. Mitoma trying to find a half yard to get the pass away. Does do that effectively to Sergio. Sergio now to Messi. Messi on the left hand side. Cross coming, seizes that one, but no. Decides to hold on to play. Send it towards the edge of the 18 yard area. Sergio, that's a good passing between the lines. N'Golo Kante has space. And the shot is saved effectively by Iker Casillas. Him says it is a little bit disappointing that Fonzie has not really created any clear-cut chance in this one.
Yeah, like I said, I expected him to actually try to get himself back in the game after that break, but Mr. Morale has just gone to a different gear because the amount of shots Fonzie's defense has been facing, I don't think that's what he would have expected coming into this game. I don't actually remember Fonzie registering a shot so far in this game. The only shots happened to be that one which happened to be offside and the referee called for a goal kick, but since then it's been all Mr. Morale.
Disappointing from Fonzie because he's really having some chances, but coming forward here on the left hand side, he would definitely probably send this one into the area. Does score on his own, but another wasted chance again from Fonzie, who's not having the best of days against Mr. Morale in this one. The second game of the day, by the way, a team Bayelsa 2 up as it stands in this one through Mr. Morale. Fonzie representing Team Rivers. Of course, Bayelsa got first blood, the first clash of the day. This is a rivalry. This is bragging rights at stake. This is all to play for. To bring you this from 43 Esports is the Niger Delta Derby between Team Rivers and Team Bayelsa. Fonzie has a chance to come forward 3 minutes before the end of normal time in this first half. Has a decoy run on the left-hand side, but chooses to go in the channel where there's Bruno Guimaraes on the ball. Finds a half yard to get a pass away to James. Looking to find a way into the penalty area, but another brilliant interception from Mr. Morale, who's had things on lock in this first half. Could have a chance again to come forward before the end of the first 45. Lionel Messi now through Mr. Morale sends towards Sergio on the left-hand side to Mitoma. Mitoma back to Sergio Conte on the edge of the D. Now to Lionel Messi. Finds a bit of space. Not effective though, as that is effectively controlled by Fonzie. Normal time ended, no added time. First half done. Mr. Morale on track. He sails into the lead in this first half. 2-0. He leads Fonzie. Team Bayelsa leading 2-0 against Team Rivers. Himself, your thoughts on that first half?
Quite disappointing for Team Rivers, and that's not what they would have expected. After El Dorado losing to Skoda Snow, you'd have expected Team Rivers to want to bounce back. But then again, like I said, that first win for Skoda Snow gave Team Bayelsa the momentum they needed, and they've capitalized on that. Mr. Morale going to 2 goals ahead in this first half, and you could see it could have actually been more goals for Mr. Morale in this game.
Right, still seeing a lot of the comments on YouTube. Shockers Gaming says, Bayelsa cooking. By the way, let's get it. Oscar Aku says, why phones you resemble 2014 Divanch? We don't be there. But Agbede Joshua says, if once you don't get shot on target, I think that's the same thing Himsas was asking. Mr. Morale keeping Fonzie at bay. Fonzie, come on, do this for Team Rivers. Get a shot on target. Anyways, Hazard Niger says, proper gamer Zion Port Harcourt. State of origin, as it does put it in quotes, is keeping Nigeria backward. Even outside gaming, residency is what matters. Well, this is why we do this, for the promotion and the growth of esports, not just in River State, not just in the South, but in Nigeria. Right, cool. Okay, he's asking why he's still not playing. He's going to get in the thick of things very, very shortly. But right now, he's doing the business of guiding his teammates into victory. Well, I could say that's the irony of it, though, because currently hasn't been able to guide anyone to victory. It's currently losses as it is. Second half, waiting. Mr. Morale exudes confidence. And that is just reflecting. Does that also reflect in the game plan? Is that also what has affected Fonzie in this first half?
Well, like I said, Mr. Morale, he's a household name in the gaming community. He's someone in which everyone has said he's one of the best coming out from the Bayelsa state. But we didn't see much of that in the RSDL, and it seemed like a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this guy is a fraud and whatnot." But in this game against Fonzie, he's shown everyone that I am still that guy, and you can see it there, absolutely dominating the first half, and he seems and would want to continue the second half in likely fashion.
All right, second half, likely fashion. Mr. Morale. That confidence the gentleman is feeling is. Man, the motto of Bayelsa is skill, passion, pride. That pride is on display. And of course, they're doing the job for Bayelsa State. River State, hey, step up. Second half, coming shortly. Would be incoming shortly. Of course, Fonzie needs to get back on track. Is there a problem with the formation, would you say, which has made him struggle to create chances? Because there's a flat midfield, obviously four. One attacking midfielder behind the striker. Should there be a little bit of an alteration for Fonzie?
Well, I feel he opted for the meta formation. This has basically been almost every pro's go-to formation in FC26, the 4-4-1-1. I think it gives you lots of attacking options, but those attacking options haven't been on display for Fonzie so far because you'd have expected his both CMs to be on box to box. I don't know what his options are. It could be on box to box balance or box to box ball winning, but you can see Lauren James there down the right hand flank, playing the right midfield. Basically, lots and lots of exciting players, Dumfries and Romero. You would have expected him to actually put up a really, really good fights with the amount of players, the amount of quality players. And one thing you should know is that basically everybody from midfield to attack has about 90 plus shooting and both 80 plus passing. But it's been quite sad for Fonzie that he wasn't able to or he's not been able to actually make anything out of this wonderful team that he has. You could see a lot of team of the season, team of the week cards there as well, for special glory hunter cards and the likes. And you could see Ike Kasi as the icon card there in goal for Fonzie. But I want to ask you something. Mr. Morale has the 2-goal lead in this game, but would you say Fonzie has defended well because Mr. Morale could have easily scored about 5 goals in this first half? Would you say that's down to his defense or more like Mr. Morale not being clinical enough?
Well, I think some of his decision making in the final third has been a bit questionable. Extra pass, you can say something that could have not been necessary in times where he should have made them. Getting clear shots away, although you can say Fonzie has tried to cover his spaces behind in his defense better, but then Mr. Morale has done it even better than him defensive wise. So I mean, there is a good display, not as much goals as the first game though, but then we're showing that these two guys will just try to keep holding their own in the midst of all of this. It's halftime, by the way. Mr. Morale leads Fonzie by 2 goals to nothing. this effectively also puts Bayelsa 2 up in this big rivalry against Team Rivers. Some of the best gamers on display that you would find not just in their respective states, but hey, in Nigeria, and of course, you can dare say in Africa. This is what we bring to you here at 43 Esports. It's the Niger Delta Derby between Team Rivers and Team Bayelsa. A lot of these players will be putting on a gaming clinic to ensure that you have the best of display throughout everything that will be going down in the entire day. Ladies and gentlemen, do keep your comments coming on our YouTube channel. We will be reading all of that even as we gear up for the second 45 proceedings. We'll resume shortly. But then, him says, what does Mr. Morale have to? Because we saw in the first game, his teammate from Bayelsa, Code Snow, was scoring, he was getting pegged up, he was getting pegged back, was scoring, he was getting pegged back all the time before he had that late winner. What should he be wary from Fonzie in this second half? How does he keep his own team in check? And of course, to avoid conceding a lot of goals in the second half.
Well, I feel he will just keep on playing the way he's been playing. The difference between this game and the first game was that when El Dorado came back from the break, you could see he was actually trying out some passes and trying to get behind Code Snow's defense. But in this particular fixture, Fonzie hasn't even had a chance to get close to Mr. Morale's box, and I feel Mr. Morale wants to keep it that way. He's not been attacking that much. El Dorado was actually attacking Code Snow and was able to get himself back into that game. But Fonzie hasn't been doing that, so I feel Mr. Morale is definitely a bit comfortable, and he will just probably run away with this one from here on out. I really don't see a way in which Fonzie gets back into this game. But then again, it's FC and anything can happen. For Fonzie's sake, he would hope that he can get himself a goal, which would apparently put him on track to getting at least a point out of this game.
All right, players getting set to resume proceedings in the second half, and of course, it is going to be very, very interesting as we see in this second half. So, all, get ready for an exciting time in this second half. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here to serve you the light of gaming festivities and gaming action, and that is what we will be doing for the entirety of all of this. Him that's here, Somto is here, 43 Esports, and we will be bringing all of this to you. Mr. Morale against Fonzie is the game going on. Of course, we have resumed proceedings yet. We'll get back into the thick of things very, very shortly. But then, just to remind you of the scoreline, Mr. Morale leading, by 2-0 against Fonzie. Second half on the way, 45. And Kim says, what do you think? Just tell me, looking at your crystal ball, what do you think transpires in this second half?
I expect Mr. Morale to continue the way he ended the first and probably go for the third goal, which will put him in probably the very best. That's basically the best position he could ever be in. They say a 2-goal lead is a very dangerous lead, but a 3-goal lead changes everything. So I feel Mr. Morale, if he gets the next goal, he's gotten the win.
All right, morale high for Mr. Morale, but Fonzie looking to switch things up in the second half as he comes forward on the left-hand side, throwing out on the ball, back to McKenny. McKenny now to Wilson. Wilson to Bruno Guimaraes. Sends it back to Wilson. Chip ball into the area. A chance for Fonzie. Controlled. And that is an outstanding save from Thibaut Courtois. Mr. Morale, the man holding things down defensively. Of course, Fonzie can come forward again into the penalty area, intercepted. And I've seen a lot of those interceptions from Mr. Moran. And dare I say, that is absolutely outstanding for the entirety of this game. But he can attack as well. And he's coming forward on the right-hand side into the penalty area. Antoine Semenyo cuts it. That is a brilliant goal from interception, from start to finish. The second half resumes as we did end the first half. Yeah. Make those noises now. Make those noises now. Mr. Morale leads by 3-0 against Fonzie. And him says it is going too bad for Team Rivers.
It's really bad. This is basically game over at this point because Mr. Morale is high on confidence. I'll be looking to add more goals to this. Fonzie, on the other hand, he can't just seem to get a hold of the game. Like every time he's on the attack, Mr. Morale finds a way to intercept, and Mr. Morale hits on the counter immediately. And you could see there, getting him that goal. Now, 3 up this game against Fonzie, and we still have lots of time for this to become a blowout we've been looking for. This could be the first.
This could be the first. Hey, Grandma. It could be today. 10 minutes into the second half, 55 minutes on the clock, but Mr. Morale loses that one on the right hand side. But he does well to track back and recover that. Coming forward, looking to strings of passes to get a steal in midfield, though. Sergio now to Golo Conte. Good pass in between the channel to Lois Openda. Openda back to Conte. Conte will send it in the channel for Antoine Semenyo to latch on to. But then a good build up again from Mr. Morale coming forward. A good interception there by Fonzie. He needs the goal desperately at this point in time. If not, it is goodbye if Mr. Morale gets that one. But hey, in football, you can never say never. Fonzie could as well score 3 goals. Mr. Morale has to be on high alert. But then, he's so confident. You can feel it from your screens. Definitely know the gentleman wants to see this one off. He's putting some passes together again. Lionel Messi coming forward. Lois Openda looking for the space, looking for the pass. But then, Fonzie reached that one well, but inadvertently so. The ref says a foul and a distance to goal, 34.3 meters. I'm trying to shot away. Looking to adjust some of his doings. I'd be surprised if the shot gets done here, but then yeah, ups for the pass. Sergio now to Lionel Messi. Messi on the right hand side, looking to extend across in. Mr. Morale definitely making very, very good use of the possession he has on display. Sent back, he would look to build from the back, as they do say, charity begins at home. Let's spread the ball, let's spread it left, right. And Davis, misplaced pass there. And Fonzie can come forward. Will Mr. Morale's confidence get the better of him? On the edge of the area is Fonzie through Bruno Guimaraes, gets into the penalty area, checks his run towards the left hand side. The shot is blocked though. He can come forward now. Messi on the ball. It's 3 against 2 going forward, but now it's intercepted brilliantly by Bompito. And Hanko on the left hand side will give it to Bruno Guimaraes. Guimaraes looking for space, finds a half yard and sends the pass to Pina forward. She's coming forward, gives it to Bruno Guimaraes, but his attempted return pass is intercepted and ball on the left hand side. Good display of interception here by Mr. Morale, as he has done all game. But then Fonzie cannot afford to concede yet another goal. Again, he comes forward trying to score that. But then, what has been the major limitation of Fonzie? Okay, would you blame him, or would you say it's excellent defending from Mr. Morale, because he is failing to create chances in this one?
Well, you could see it's excellent defending from Mr. Morale. Fonzie has been really poor. His build up has been really poor. The way his style of play has been absolutely nullified by Mr. Morale, and it's not giving him the chances that he would have expected coming into this game there. And you could see that beautiful shot was a save there to still keep him in this game. I put it that way. I don't know if he's still in the game, but
3 goals to nothing. At this point, you could say with just over 20 minutes to play, there could still be a lot of time. Mr. Morale, of course, liking the position he is in right now. Fonzie receiving some instructions from Doom on how he could get back into this one. What alterations can he make? What changes will he be able to do in this one? But Mr. Morale definitely relaxed, chill, chewing scum, as we do to see towards the end of proceedings in this one. We give birth to Bayelsa lead by 3 goals to nothing through Mr. Morale in this particular game. But don't forget, the first game, so-called Snow defeats the man, the known as El Dorado by 7 goals to 6. 13 goals we saw in that one, just 3 in this one. Is it the quality of the game in dropping, or would you just say this has been rather tight and that was 2 men, the first game, who could know how to attack with ease?
I feel it's due to the fact that Fonzie has been poor in general. El Dorado, although he was behind, he was still trying to fight to get himself into this game. Fonzie seems to have already given up. You see Mr. Morado's trying out some flashy moves and at the back, trying to just slow the game down, opting for game management from the 60th minute. And at this point, Fonzie, maybe he should try to capitalize on this.
Right, back on track in this one, 69 minutes on the clock. And Fonzie will look to come forward. The goal, very, very important now. And he does that on the right-hand side, looking for the forward pass. Dumfries back into the return pass. And that final ball could not just make the difference. And Mr. Morale can come forward. And on the counter now, though stalled. But then he can come forward again on the left-hand side into the 18-yard area. As Kaoru Mitoma checks his run, sends it back to Ascante. The extra pass again. Although he's enjoying himself at this rate, it should be. 3 goals ahead. Less than 20 to play. A set up for Mr. Morale seeing this one off for Team Bayelsa to get their second win of the day. Team Rivers on the deficit. But here they come now. Fonzie on the left-hand side into the penalty area. Bruno Guimaraes returns the pass to Pina. Now to McKenny. Bruno Guimaraes on the edge of the area. And they come forward now. Fonzie looking for the extra bit of space to get his team back in this one. There's the space, but then opts to get another pass. But then Mr. Morale's interception, making that is an excellent pass towards the left-hand side. Mitoma this time again, and he's just enjoying himself. Mr. Morale toying with the defense of Fonzie. It must be really painful. Much to the dismay of his coach, though. Maybe he's enjoying himself a little too much. But hey, with 15 minutes to play, he has the right to enjoy himself. Coming forward, putting some passes together. Sergio now to Openda back to Sergio. Two men exchanging passes. Sergio loose a bit of space, but Bruno Guimaraes is there to do the dirty work. Once he sends a long ball forward into the penalty area, it's not intercepted tidily. Yes, James could get a pass away. Oh, that could have been a save, but that is a goal. It's 3-1. I would have been surprised if that was kept out, though. But
the fact that the goalkeeper got a hand to it is actually really, really shocking. And on another day, that would have probably been a big save there.
But that's Thibaut Courtois, so if he could get a hand to that, be sure that any other goalkeeper will find difficulty in that. Now it's about Mr. Morale. He chopped some chances a few minutes ago, and that's what Babalayefa is also saying. Morale just strolling at this point. Destroy Fonzie. Morale, come on, what are you doing? Go ahead, go in charge, go in front. But it seemed like he was chopping a bit of chances, enjoying himself too much. If Fonzie gets a goal next, it's going to be disappointing for Mr. Morale, don't you think?
Yeah, it's really, really disappointing. But then again, we've seen Mr. Morale throw away easy wins, not once, not twice. And if that happens today, it could also say is the old Mr. Morale that we all knew. But like I said, he will opt for game management. Now 10 minutes left on the clock. He'll try to waste time to see if he can just play down the clock and wait for the referee's final whistle.
Mr. Morale, be careful. You have bottling tendencies. 3-1, he leads though with just around 8 minutes to go. That's a careless pass, but then Fonzie cannot capitalize on that one. And Mr. Morale will come forward on the left-hand side through Davis. It's all about managing things at this point in time for Mr. Morale. On the left-hand side, he is Lionel Messi. One-time pass. Gives Openda is 2v2 at this point. A chance is wasted. Openda will come forward on the right-hand side. Try to send things towards the corner flag. Maybe waste time, but he says no. He checks his run. Goes back. Still holding up play. He is Mr. Morale. Toying at this point, as Babalayefa did say. But then, here he is, showing a bit of skill to delay the clock. But Fonzie tightens that one. Cannot make any forward inroad though. But then, Mr. Morale just trying to see out this one. It's going to be a very, very good win for him. 3-0, he was up. Got pegged back. Babalayefa was saying, Morale, what's up with you? Get another goal. You're throwing at this point. It's 3-1. He leads though. You don't expect the gentleman to go all guns blazing, but Fonzie coming forward, shot is blocked. Of course, Morale can counter now. Semenyo, Openda, space ahead of Mitoma on the left-hand side. He does make that pass. The wrong pass, you think, in your opinion, himself. I'll get back to you, though. Mitoma on the edge of the penalty area, sends it towards Conte, Semenyo, Openda, into the 18. Gets a shot. Garcia saves. The choice of pass at that point in time, you think it was wrong?
Well, you could see the directional run. Like PJ said, this guy has the best directional runs I've seen. And you could see it there with the striker. But then he opted to go to the winger, and the striker was basically thrown goal. Had he given that pass to the striker, that would have been goal number 4 for Mr. Morale there.
All right, still seeing a lot of your messages on YouTube. Of course, we'll be taking all of those ones, one after the other, at the conclusion of this game. But then we have just under 120 seconds before all things equal gets wrapped up for the second game of the day. Mr. Morale in cruise control of this one. 3-1 he leads. And of course, this will give Team Bayelsa their second win of the day against Team Rivers. Fonzie not able to put Team Rivers back on track after El Dorado started the loss. And maybe could have been upended there, but still a couple of alterations to be made by both players as we do await to welcome back these players back in the thick of things, as it will be happening in this concluding part of the game. Still Mr. Morale against Fonzie. This is Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa, the Niger Delta rivalry. The South-South affair here. 43 Sports. We will be resuming activities right now. Corner to Mr. Morale. Right hand side. Will be taking shot though. Switches. Players opts to go long with Semenyo. Gets a deep delivery. Konate chest down for Lionel Messi. Gets the shot. Blocked. Another corner. This is expert game management. We've hit normal time. 1 minute of injury time to be added in this one before we call it a wrap. Mr. Morales sends it again. The in-swinger is falling for Lionel. Oh my days! That is an expert finish. And that is a finish that contextualizes the entirety of this game. 4-1. Mr. Morale comfortably dispatched. The finesse is absolutely out of this world. Him says game, set, and match.
Yeah, game set and match there. Fonzie trying to defend that corner. You could see Mr. Morale. He tried it the first time. Messi couldn't get his shot off. The shot was blocked, and he went out for another corner. And this time around, it happened just the way he planned it. And now the game is over. Mr. Morale has gotten Bayelsa the second win of the day. 4-1 against Fonzie. And Team Rivers, they need to fix up, I must say.
Yeah, Team Rivers have to fix up. It's full time. Mr. Morale beating the man known as Fonzie by 4-1. There he is, the victorious gentleman. Did lead his teammates, talking about Codesno, to victory in the first game of the day. 7-6 in that one. And of course, the second game of the day, he took charge of proceedings. And of course, he leads Bayelsa into a 2-goal lead, or you can say 2-0 lead against Team River State at this point in time. A lot of other games to be seen throughout the context of the day, but then him says, let's dissect this game. What went wrong for Fonzie entirely in this game?
Here Mr. Morale was just all over him right from the start. I don't really see what Fonzie could have done any better, because Mr. Morale never gave him the chance to do anything, and you can see there getting a hold of, and I feel the only goal Fonzie got was from Mr. Morale mistake. So at the point, Mr. Morale was probably taking the piece and was trying to wind down the clock from like the 68th minute, but he was all over Fonzie. I really don't know what Fonzie could have done any better. Maybe try to have more possession of the ball, try to find those line breaking passes. But then again, Mr. Morale was positioning. Sergio Busquets was basically all over the pitch in that midfield today. So cutting all the passing lanes and whatnot. So Fonzie should just look forward to the next game to see if he can get a win for himself and for Team Rivers.
What did Mr. Morale absolutely do spot on? 4 goals he did score in this one. I mean, you can say totally Bayelsa have 11 goals in this, but what did he absolutely get spot on, which was his enabling ability for him to get the win in this one?
Basically, in my opinion, he got everything spot on, and right from the first half, probably to the end of the first half, and the second half, he kind of dropped off a bit and was just trying to wind down the clock throughout the second half. But basically, everything seemed to be going and perfect for him. Basically, you don't really say everything he touched turned to good. That was basically what happened for Mr. Morale in this first game against Fonzie. And now you could say he's 2 for 2 because he coached Code Snow to win against El Dorado, and now he's gotten a win for himself against Fonzie. And you could see on your screen the team for controller who is coming up next. Still the same 4-4-1-1 formation.
Yeah, Doom comes up next. Yeah, I know for the person who did ask on our YouTube, at least Doom playing Doom is here, and the controller is the man that will be doing the job for Team Rivers. Doom on coaching duty again, so you have to wait for him to see what he has up in store. Pro Life was exactly pleased on our YouTube channel. Morale wrapped it up, he did say, and he also says Fonzie for the fries in the bag. Don't you great? Also says off the training ground, talking about that goal from Mr. Morale, the final goal. Yeah, you think that's also off the training ground, is it?
Yeah, you could see he did it the first time, and It almost worked, but it was deflected for a corner. And the second time, he was lucky. I wouldn't say that was lucky. Second time, he was able to get Messi in that position. And Messi in or around the box, there's only one position. He's looking to put it into the top corner, and that was able to get him the fourth goal and gets him Bayelsa the next win. But then, I think you asked me this question early on. A game between Chuku and Controller, and now we're about to see that.
Yeah, the Battle of the Seas. Chukuchuku against Controller is next on the offer. And of course, keep sending your thoughts to our YouTube channel. I will be reading that. Oscar Aku is excited to see Controller. He exclaims, Controller. And also, Miracle here is asking, hey, Doom, where are you? Doom is still on coaching duty. Cool, that's Snow, by the way, is the man who will be coaching Chukuchuku in this one. Chukuchuku, quite the name, I hope that name comes to full effect on the display of gaming. Popular if I was also saying Omosi team. You'd have to specify which team you're talking about.
Wow, this is this is a cracked team. You can see Chawinga down the flank on the left hand side, and Dembele, Usman Dembele on the right hand side, Bellingham, and actually Podolski in midfield, Podolski. Then Kylian Mbappe up front, 96. I think that should be his team of the week card, team of the season card, out of the two. And one thing again, all these players 90 plus shooting. So you should be seeing, you will be expecting shots from awkward angles and different positions from basically you see the front six.
All right, Team Rivers all set to do action. Of course, Doom still on coaching duty. Don't lead us, Doom, again, as Team Rivers will be begging you, Doom. Fonzie did lose, Eldorado did lose, Controller have to get control of things from Team Rivers. Team Bayelsa also sending forth Chukwuchukwu to the task alongside Codesno, who will be offering him words of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding by his side as we get to see the third game of the day. But then, who do you favor in this one, him says? Chukwuchukwu or Controller?
Well, I see a comment here said Controller is favored in this fixture. I can't lie. Well, I'll just go with what that person is saying because the controller we all know, if the controller we all know turns up in this game, it's going to be really bad for Chukwuchukwu. Not having anything against Chukwuchukwu. He's a really awesome gamer. He's someone that lots of people love watching. But then again, controller was different. Controller is different. The controller was on the RSPL, so he's gotten way better compared to last time, and he'll be looking to actually put Team Rivers into the chart, like we usually say, get their first win in this matchup.
Well, coaching alteration there. Mr. Morale back on the hot seat to offer, as I do say, wisdom, knowledge, words of understanding to doing this one. He will be scoring off against Controller. Team Bayelsa in the driving seat. Team Bayelsa in front. 2-0 against Team Rivers. Team Rivers have to get back in the thick of things in this next game. Man tasked with doing that. It's Controller. See how he's able to get that important win against Team Bayelsa, represented ably by the man known as Chukwuchukwu. Seen a lot of games from inception, start to finish. A lot of other players still lined up to do the business. PJ, the confident one, is somewhere around the area. Dexter, also representing Team Rivers in and around the area. Ladies and gentlemen, don't take your eyes off this. This is the Niger Delta Derby. It's a battle for bragging rights in the South. Him says it's not going your way. I know you're supporting Team Rivers. It's not going your way. It's not going your way. But hey, there's still a frenzy of games to come. My Team Rivers repping the South. Of course, different tribes. This is the rivalry. One state, one team, one mission. This is brought to you by 43 Esports. We're not just about coming here, playing games, putting all of this on display. No. Charged with the growth of esports. This affects the South region, not just also in Nigeria, and also the continent, Africa, and the world at large. Next one, Controller against Chuku. Of course, no threats for the name. It's Niger way. It is South Derby.
Well, one thing I must say, this is basically the closest thing we've seen to the Elite League. The Elite League will be coming up real soon after the completed RSPL coming up in August. This was the closest thing we've seen because most of these guys are from the Elite League. The likes of PJ, Fonzie, Doom Controller, and Doom Controller and Dexter, and the likes of Coder Snow, Chuku, Mr. Morale, all those guys came from the RSDL and are into the RSPL. Really have a high chance of getting themselves into the RSEL, the River State Elite League. So this is just basically like we say a trailer to that.
All right. An interesting affair lined up. So what we see is a frenzy of a battle that we'll be getting next on display. Mr. Morale will look to continue his winning guidance. Obviously, he has the winning aura around him and guided the man to victory in the first one. Also guided himself to victory in the second one. The man he did guide was cold as snow. Guided himself to victory in this second one, as he looks to give Bayelsa a very, very good advantage in this one. On paper, him says, obviously he said Bayelsa has a better team. Team Rivers, that was where your affiliations emotionally were. But then, can Team Rivers come back into this one?
And anything is possible. We still have lots and lots of games to go. So Team Rivers still have a chance, but they need to get that win first. And which better person to do that for them than Controller? He'll be looking to see if he can put Team Rivers back on track, get that first win, probably get the second, and begin to build on from that. But it's left to be seen. Chuku is definitely not a walkover for him. You need to put in the energy. You need to put up the fight and see if he can grab that win for Team Rivers.
Right, we're going to be seeing the two gentlemen very, very shortly doing the business. Controller against Chuku. The third game of the day. Finally poised for proceedings to get underway. Bayelsa still ahead. They will look to extend their lead in this one. Rivers have no choice. They are condemned to get back on track in this next game. Controller has to do something to get them back into this one. It's the Niger Delta Derby. Let's get straight into it. Third game of the day. Controller against Chuku. I like saying that name over and over against Chuku. He definitely has to be poking. Controller, you don't poke the bear. Because that's saying get into fruition. This one on the way this time. Controller changes his grip, decides to go all white for Team Rivers. Of course, we get back on the way in this one. Chuku representing Team Bayelsa has his red shirts changed to black shorts now and black socks. Of course, looks to build from the back. Sends the ball out. Guessing there needs to be an alteration for him. But then, what would you love to see him says from Controller? What would you love to see from Chuku from both these players?
Like his name implies, Controller, he always wants to have control of this game. Another possession, like the FC players will say, a possession rat, the kind of player who would want to have all the ball to themselves. Chuku kind of similar, but then again, we are about to see who would have more possession, because Chuku is the kind of player too, likes to take things slowly, likes to build up slowly. Controller, on the other hand, same kind of player, likes to take things slowly and want to build up slowly. And now one player would actually have to go against how they usually play, because both players can't have possession of the ball all the time. So this is probably a game where we'll see a few number of goals. I don't know.
We'll see a lot of goals. The first one had 13 goals, second one had 5. Considerable drop. But then Controller coming forward on the right hand side. Chawinga on the ball, sends it to Nico O'Reilly, Manchester City. But now being controlled by Controller into the 18-yard area is Vicky. Sends the pass right. Iniesta is roughed into the back of the net. Controller sending Rivers into a frenzy. And he said, should I bust your head with an amazing statistic? This is the first time Team Rivers have gone ahead.
Oh, like I said, it's quite shocking. But like I said, which better player to do that than Controller? This guy is always on the move. You could see him there with another good chance to get a 2-goal lead in this game.
All right, corner kick from the right hand side. Semenyo takes his shot to Chawinga. A Controller having a good bit of control in the first 10 minutes of this one. On the right hand side, dazzling bit of skill sent towards the edge of the area into the 18-yard area. Now it is the shot is blocked by the defense. Chukwuchukwu still struggling to trick his way out of his own half. He can't do that now. Ronaldinho on the left hand side looks to have a bit of control, calmness, and ball into the center of the park. Lost by Chukwuchukwu. Controller coming forward. He's been very pacey, direct with his attacks. Sent towards the right hand side. Chawinga and Andres Iniesta now on the edge of the D's. Lost out to Maradona. Oscar Aku says Controller will demolish him. Chukwuchukwu has definitely his work cut out for him in this one. Controller very, very direct in all of his proceedings. On the right hand side he is now. Chawinga. That's a bit of skill to get a bit of control. Send it back into the area. Vicky on the ball into the penalty area. They move in bit by bit. Chawinga now has the ball into the penalty area. He goes. O'Reilly has the chance for a shot. Mbappe takes a shot, but then it's saved. Yet another corner. 15 minutes gone in this one. Chukwuchukwu is yet to even have a shot. Controller has dominated from the start of this one. Chawinga now to Nkapie. Nkapie back to Chawinga on the right hand side. Controller using her effectively for all of the bit of skills that she has been doing. Semenyo on the edge of the V. A clever fake. A Controller into the area. And he misses that. That was a clear cut chance himself.
That was basically the best chance he's had all game. Even better than the first chance he had, which got the goal for himself. But then again, the Controller, he's someone that is not as clinical. We saw this in the RSPL. The first edition of the RSPL, he wasn't always clinical, and now
that's the equalizer from Chukwuchukwu. It's 1-1. Finally poised back in this one. Team Bayelsa back on track. And then Controller for all of those chances he could have had. That's the punishing sign from Chukwuchukwu. Controller now trying to get back in this one. King Padeo says, show us who the real Controller is today. We believe in you. Bayelsa faithful in and around the area. Keep sending your thoughts. We will be reading all of them. This is the Niger Delta Derby. Team Bayelsa against Team Rivers. The third game of the day. Controller representing Team Rivers as they attempt to get their first win. Lovely ball in the left-hand side channel. And Gabi the ball. Garcia, that is an outstanding save from Jean Garcia. Warning signs there from Controller. Chukwuchukwu bearing the pressure. Back again it comes into the 18-yard area. Interchange of passes, but it's intercepted by Controller. But then, it was these chances Controller is getting. It is on the platter. He's missed a few. Would he come back to haunt him?
Oh, this in FC, it's basically wood. But one thing is for sure, Controller is going to keep on creating those chances, and it's just a matter of time before he's able to capitalize on most of them.
Ball towards the left-hand side into the area. Andres Iniesta. Oh, Nico O'Reilly has space for a shot. It's blocked. Maradona. Two different errors. Hey, on the same pitch as Ultimate Team. Here in the Niger Delta Derby. Semenyo taking shot again. Controller has been trying to work on these short corners. O'Reilly tend to overdo it there, but then controlled effectively. But Maradona will intercept and a chance for counter. Chukwuchukwu has rarely had any bit of breathing space. But then he could have a chance to put a few passes in on far between. But then he's misplaced that. And again. But then he comes out unscarred in that one. Ronaldinho on the left-hand side. Ball inside the left-hand side of the pitch. But intercepted by Controller who can come forward in Nkapie. On the ball, smashing ball towards the right-hand side. Where Maicon is resident. Maicon into the 18-yard area. Sends the pass, but is intercepted. But then How does Chukwuchukwu get a bit of control in this one? Because he's not seeming to have that.
Well, it was bound to happen. One player was meant to cede possession, and that player happened to be Chukwuchukwu. Controller wanting it more with the ball, and you could see a beautiful save there from Joan Garcia again. Like you asked, we hope these chances that he's missing don't come back to haunt him, because he could have easily been 5-1 up in this game.
Right, half-hour mark in this one. Closely contested one, but Controller has been having a bit of chances. Chukwuchukwu can come forward. Ronaldinho first time pass into the channel, intercepted. And now Controller can stretch Chukwuchukwu's defense, come forward, but then the wrong decision cost him that particular attack. That's a clever ball forward, and that is an even better interception by Virgil van Dijk. Chukwu coming forward, but Controller, as he can attack, he can defend. Kylian Mbappe, clever ball forward, but intercepted nicely. Left hand side is Ronaldinho. Gaucho. And forward is Luchta. Goretzka and Maradona returning from an offside position. 10 minutes to go until half time. As we approach the 35th minute mark, it's 1-1. Finally poised though. Controller did go ahead, but then Chukwuchukwu found his way back into the game. That's a misplaced pass. The ball sent towards the right hand side for Rodman. Rodman has a channel upfield, and she makes advantage of that. Lucas Paquetá, chip ball forward. Andres Iniesta, he's short, but he's mighty, and he gets the header to bring Controller forward. Bombito to Iniesta. Clever pass to Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe back to Iniesta. Iniesta to O'Reilly. O'Reilly to Chawinga on the edge of the area looking for space. Iniesta to Chawinga. Chawinga, sparse, intercepted, but then Controller can have a chance for a counter. Paquetá now to Maradona. The pass has to be timed, not exactly though, as it's intercepted. Then staring at 5 minutes to go before normal time of the first half comes to an end. Iniesta's pass is intercepted. Their numbers forward for Chukwuchukwu, but he can make good use of that attack as Controller can organize things from behind. Passes here and there. Nkapie now on the ball, sent towards the left hand side. Semenyo has not really had a few to say in this game. O'Reilly, clever pass inwards to Chawinga, and that is in turn intercepted for this one. Himses, your thoughts on how this first half has transpired? Where do you think the improvement has to come from?
Well, for one, Controller needs to improve on his finishing, because the chances are there. He's getting the chances. He's creating an immense amount of chances, but for some reason, he hasn't really been able to capitalize on them.
Chance for a Controller again to come forward. Well, you can say his decision making has, in the final third, has been a bit questionable.
I wouldn't really say it's been questionable. The final pass is there. He's getting the chances to get his shots off, but they haven't just been on target.
The final decisions.
Yeah, the final decisions have been a bit too sauce, and he would hope to fix up real soon.
But what a chance! You don't give him that kind of space. The Controller, just before half time, could have the final say of the first half. Of course, that is a brilliant goal. As you see clips of that clever pass from Andres Iniesta into the 18-yard area, and cleverly dispatched by Kylian Mbappe. Losing in the World Cup semi-final, not losing here, is he? He leads the first half. What's been the standout for you himself in this first half?
It's the way Controller took control over this game around, not letting Chukwuchukwu even have a bit of anything at all. He's been everywhere in this particular fixture, and unfortunately for him, it's just a 2-1 lead he has, because on a good day, this guy will probably be up by about 6 goals with the amount of chances he's had, but he hasn't been clinical enough, and Chukwuchukwu will thank the heavens for that, because he's still in the game. As things stand, he's still in the game. He can get another equalizer and probably go ahead. And like you said, this is the first player from Team Rivers who has gone ahead in this campaign, and maybe he would want to build on that.
Right, second half on the way. Controller in the lead. Team Rivers finally have a lead. Drew Daniel says Chukwuchukwu needs to work on his passes, but he's coming forward now. And of course, that is a brilliant finish. Team Bayelsa back in. This one back on track. Less than 2 minutes into resumption of hostilities. But then Controller is coming forward. Intercepted. But then Chukwuchukwu has a chance to build up Again, Rodman on the right hand side. Maradona, the controller, has a bit of work to do to get back into the lead in this one. But then, Himsa's quality starts to the second half from Chukwuchukwu.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. I'm sure that what Mr. Moran would have told him to do, try to get an early goal, and that's exactly what he wanted. Now the game is leveled, and he would look to see if he can just defend well, probably just get another goal for himself, and just trying to run down the clock from there on out.
Right, Oscar Agu is talking to us. He says Chukwuchukwu and Popolaifa are the weak links, as they could be in the Bayelsa squad. Chukwuchukwu now building. Left hand side is Campbell on the ball, famous for his invincible abilities with the Arsenal side. Not invincible in this defense, those conceded two, though being controlled by Chukwuchukwu. Just putting some passes together, looking to build up quite nicely. Shades of the type of game Mr. Morale will be playing, though. He leaves that one, could have been offside. Then controller sends a smashing ball towards the left hand side. Stanisic attentive to that one. Props to Chukwuchukwu for spotting that danger ahead. Then he can come forward. Paquetá, Maradona, could have been a clever pass into the channel. 10 minutes into the second half, Kylian Mbappe, the ball to Vicky. Vicky now looking for that final pass, but then questionable decision making once again. Chukwuchukwu can come forward. Paquetá, back to Rodman. Again, return to Paquetá. Interchange of passes there. Maradona. And now to Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho on the edge of the penalty area. Looking for openings. Looking for a space. Chips one over. It seems like a closely contested battle. What will be the difference maker as we approach the hour mark?
Chukwuchukwu would be looking to defend better and control now with a good chance there.
That was a horrible miss. Best of questionable defending by Chukwuchukwu, but then the finish, just like the defending, horrible. It was fine chance there.
You would have expected him to bury that into the back of the net there, but unfortunately he wasn't able to do that. We'll be looking to do this though, and controller
doing what he could be. Shocker's Gaming is saying he's one of the best in this mode, if not the best. Respect, it's a shocker. We see you, obviously. Great things you are doing. Of course, props to you here from the entire 3 esports community. Coming forward now, 63 minutes on the clock through Rodman. That's a clever pass to Maradona. Then a return pass, not quite effective though. Semenyo with a chance for a counter. Now O'Reilly, Mbappe. Now to Vicky. Vicky has to make the right choice here. Back to Kylian Mbappe on the edge of the area. It's Antoine Semenyo. That first touch was brilliant to get him on for the shot.
I feel the second half has been a bit unbalanced. Chukwuchukwu has tried to get himself in this game, unlike the first half where it was all controller from start to finish.
Very, very good bit of play. And to come forward into the 18-yard area. A lot of questions if that shot came in early. But then, yeah, he's still on. He gives us a very glaring chance for Chukwuchukwu to go ahead. Hastily, he got the shot away. Pressure telling on him, is it?
I'm sure Soccer, or rather, controller will be really, really happy with that because he's been having all the chances, and now Chukwuchukwu finally got a chance to go ahead in this game, and he just flopped it there. And controller leaves to breathe, or he leaves to fight another day.
Leaves to fight another day. Is it 20 minutes as we approach what could be left? Oh, that's a brilliant pass, but then could Mbappe be offside? Yes, he is. Not the intended pass. I'm sure that was intended for Chawinga though. But then Chukwuchukwu can restart play on the left hand side. As things stand, it's 2-2. 17 minutes. We are approaching. Finally poised. Ronaldinho on the left hand side. Push it back to Goretzka. Paquetá to Rodman. Because Paquetá on the edge of the area, he needs to make the right decision though, wriggling his way around the defense. Final pass, very, very questionable. In Kapi now on the left hand side, as he could bring His side forward. Controller, obviously. Done indeed, gentlemen, with the ball now. Andres Iniesta. Vicky on the ball. Clever pass to Iniesta, who gets into the 18-yard area. Iniesta's pass. Questionable, but Joan Garcia could have handled that one, but then fears from the camp of Team Bayelsa. Maradona to Rodman. Can Chukuchuku do another bit of magic to bring him ahead in this one? Lucas Paqueta coming forward on the right hand side. Just what has to give, what could be the difference to seal this game up for any of these gentlemen?
Well, at this point, Chukuchuku is high on confidence. You can see this is a different Chukuchuku from what we saw in the first half. Controller, he's had that dip in form in this second half, and it's quite sad because in the first half he created lots and lots of chances, but ever since the turn of the second half, it's been all Chukuchuku.
Him says Shocker's gaming is saying leave him alone. Leave his name alone. And Oscar Akui is saying this pressure, hot seat pressure. Of course, Duru Daniel is also saying that the pressure made him shoot. Yes, I do think so. But coming forward is Controller. But the quick reactions from Chukuchuku to bring out Joan Garcia to pay attention to that one. King Pade saying, what was that pass? Not entirely comfortable with what he's seeing. But Controller comes forward, dispatched with ease to the top corner. Brilliant goal.
Really brilliant goal, and you could say all his hard work has finally come into play there, finally getting Mbappe in that half space there, and of course Kylian Mbappe 90+ shooting into the top corner, and Team Rivers finally lead once again. Well, you could see in the studio one of the finest gamers in Port Harcourt City in 1A1. This guy happened to finish third in the RSDL. He just completed RSDL last season, and you can see he's here to cheer for Team Rivers, and now maybe you could say he's their lucky charm because they finally win.
The odd goal in 5. Courtesy of Controllers. Goal minutes ago separates these gentlemen. Set up for a grandstand finish. 9 minutes to go of normal time. And Chukuchuku, Bayelsa back in contention. Ronaldinho into the penalty area. Final pass is intercepted. Pressure building. That pass too risky, my brother. Semenyo on the left hand side. That's a bit of skill from Controller. A good one-touch football. Build up plays. Massive and very good push. Then effectively gives a foul and a dead ball situation to Controller. Would use this to fill off the time. Very precious win this would be for Team Rivers, him says.
Yeah, a really much needed win, and you could say to a point a deserved win if he happens to win the game, because Controller was all over Chukuchuku in the first half, but in the second half he kind of dropped off, but finally he's been able to get that goal. And Team Rivers, they need this win. They are 2 wins down against Team Bayelsa, and this win could just put them back on track.
Back on track. They would be 2-1. Bayelsa lead 2-0 before now. Wins from Mr. Morale and Codes Snow against Fonzie and El Dorado by 4 goals to 1 and 7 goals to 6 respectively. A 5-goal thriller that we are seeing here. Maradona, the edge of the B. Ronaldinho back to Maradona. O'Reilly intercepts that. Controller that should be able to see this one off as we approach less than 120 seconds of normal time to go. On the left hand side is Semenyo. He can come forward on the left hand side. There's space for O'Reilly in the middle. Ups for Kylian Mbappe. Mbappe teases the shot, but then goes back, and Vicky can control things. No panic, no haste for Controller. Get the job done to good effect for Team Rivers. 15 seconds of normal time to go. Chukuchuku can come forward now. Mirakuru Kiri is asking for one more goal. Controller seal things off. Rodman, Luchta, Lucas Paqueta on the right hand side. Chukuchuku searching for space, and gets the space. Shots comes off. That is a match saving stop by Iker Casillas. One more chance though. Oh, it's intercepted, and that will be that. Of course, it is full time. Disappointment for Chukuchuku. Mr. Morale giving him some words of morale. Hey, keep your heads up. But then it is the man Controller who sends Team Rivers back on track in this one. A 3-2 win against Kuchuku. The win by the odd goal in 5 is what has set Team Rivers back on track. So, Himzas, Team Rivers 1, Team Bayelsa 2.
This could be the start of something special from Team Rivers. This was a really, really much needed win for them, and they finally been able to get the win, all thanks to the man controller. And now they will look to build on that. We still have the likes of Dexter and Doom yet to play, and I'm sure whoever they are playing should be weary because these two guys are out of blood. They need those wins. You can see it there on your screens. Team Rivers having 3 points, and Team Bayelsa currently on 6 points.
All right, 3 games played. Of course, Team Rivers getting their first win through Chukuchuku's 3-0 win against, or Controllers 3-2 win against Chukuchuku. That has them with 3 points. Team Bayelsa having 6, still leading the standings after 3 games played, 1 loss. Those 2 wins coming courtesy of Mr. Morale and Coldest Snow. This is still the 43 Esports coverage of the Niger Delta Derby. Of course, this is one rivalry, one purpose, one mission. As Team Rivers currently trailing Team Bayelsa by 2-1. Lots of games on the offer still to see. A lot of people will be waiting for Doom to take to the hot seats. A lot of people also waiting for PJ to take to the hot seats. Also Dexter in and around the area. For Himzas, very, very important for Team Rivers to get back on track, and it's all about capitalizing on this. What is the message in the Team Bayelsa camp? Because they now have to get their advantage back on the offer.
Well, I don't think this Team Rivers' win would really shake them because it was a very, very close game. The game ended 3-2, and it could have gone anyway. Team Bayelsa could have actually come out of that last fixture with a win. They will still look to build on that. They are still in the lead. They are ahead with 3 points, and they will just look to continue to increase that lead. Team Rivers, I feel this controllers win has given them mentality boost they actually need, and will look to count on keep up those wins from now on out.
All right, very interesting thoughts there from him. Since we still have lots on the offer for you today. Still the 43 Esports coverage of the Niger Delta Derby, Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa. Just to tell you, comprehensive wrap of some of the games we have seen. The first game we saw Coldest Snow against El Dorado. That was a 13-goal thriller. 13 goals were scored. Coldest Snow got the very, very late winner, and he made it 7-6 in his favor. And then Team Bayelsa stretched their lead. Mr. Morale dispatching Fonzie by 4-1. What are thoughts for who could be your incoming world champion, Lionel Messi, with a very, very good goal to secure that 4-1 win. Chukuchuku also got into the hot seat for Team Bayelsa, but he could not stretch their lead to 3-0. Controller was the man who efficiently ensured that Team Rivers would be back on track, courtesy of a late winner to give Team Rivers and himself a 3-2 win over Chukuchuku. So it's all to play for in the next one. For Team Rivers, a chance to get back on level terms. Team Bayelsa lead by 6 points. Team Rivers have 3 points. For Team Bayelsa, it is all important to get that next win. And for you, himself, what's the approach for Team Bayelsa in the next one? Do they hand out someone to definitely put them back on track? For Team Rivers, everybody puts their cards on the table as it stands in this game.
Well, I feel the next game is really, really vital because if Team Bayelsa happens to win, it gives them that 2 lead advantage again, or the 3 points advantage, or the 6 points advantage rather. Our Team Rivers will be looking to win as well to get level on points with Team Bayelsa. So Team Bayelsa, they'll be hoping that the next player is one of the main dons, the likes of PJ or Bobo Layefa. Like I see in the comments saying he's really, really underrated. But before we go into that game, we'll be heading over to media for an interview.
It is believed that one bad game doesn't make a bad team. How about 2? Well, we'll leave the Rivers team to answer that question. But before then, Mr. Controller, you are taking the first win, or you've taken the first win for the Rivers team today. I mean, it must really be a proud moment for you, right?
Definitely.
All right. So 3 games down, and Team Bayelsa still leading. I mean, was that expected for the did the Rivers team expect that in any way their daughter state would take the first two leads?
No, not really. Yes. I just need everyone to lock in for real. My first game, I always instill fear in my opponent before the game. So he was afraid of me before the game was on. Right. So yeah, that's it.
He was afraid of you before the game was on. Okay, so paying very rapt attention to these games so far, are there any perceived lapses you think the Rivers boys should look into and work on as a team?
Everyone should just lock in, like do what they know how to do. It's a difficult game. We're playing this for the first time, competitively. So everyone just has to lock in. That's it.
It's a very, very massive and a very, very hot competition indeed. Well, we'll see what the Rivers boys have in store for us. Moving on.
Okay, I have to break. I mean, I have to join this interview right now. Crash it, if you may. Controller, you've won the very first game for Team Rivers, just like Melia already asked, and that I think that has done some good things for the team morale because I can see Doom and Dexter already smiling. Doom was your coach, and the, and it's really interesting to see. But your next opponent has promised that he will make sure that you don't live up to that controller name. Do you think, since you started this game, like you started with a win, do you think you can win the next matches you have?
Winning this one is already enough. My next opponent is already afraid of me. So by the time he gets in, I'm already a winner.
Okay, right. I think on the comments, one commenter said Bobala Efa and Chuku Chuku were the weak links in the Bayelsa team, and I think you're facing Bobala Efa next, or maybe somewhere along the line. Do you think you can also inflict damage? I mean, we didn't see you at your very best today, but you ground out the win. Do you think you can inflict more damage to the Bayelsa team?
Like I said, my opponents are always afraid of me before they play the game. So they already decided themselves that they are lost already. So I'm winning it.
Miller, you heard it. You
heard
heard it. Okay, this is a warning shot to every other person on the Bayelsa team, Mr. Morale, including you. Beware, be very afraid. The controller is coming. So I head back to the commentary guys right now. Bye.
Interesting thoughts there, and the confidence from controller is oozing, rubbing off. Does it rub off on Team Rivers? At least he needs to pass on that positivity and confidence.
Well, if you're giving them the boost they need, yes, he's definitely giving them the boost they need there, and they will look to build up from now, and it's left to be seen because not everyone would have the kind of mentality that he has. Talking about controller, but then again, the next player to see on your screen, Baba Layefa against Dexter. So if there's anyone that would want to or have that kind of mentality, that winning mentality, is definitely Dexter.
All right, and just like we did say, Team Rivers have to put their cards on the table, and they send in the man who currently holds the title as the best in the state, ladies and gentlemen, Dexter. It's a clash for the ages we're expecting. Dexter against Babalayefa, and of course, this is going to be one exciting clash. Dexter is the best. Babalayefa, if he manages to beat him, it's going to be a surprise of the ages.
Well, I see some comments here saying that he's really, really underrated. But like I said, I've not really seen this guy play, so I'll be seeing him play for the very first time today. Dexter too. One thing I know is that this guy has the element of surprise against Dexter. I don't know if they really play outside of this in friendlies, but one thing is for sure, Dexter wouldn't underrate this guy because he has the element of surprise. And you could see Dexter's coach there in 1A1. I was already saying this 1A1, one of the finest gamers we've seen in Port Harcourt City, and now he's the coach of Dexter in this matchup against Bobo Layefa.
Gentlemen, the guys feel ready, willing, able, intact to give you the best of game in action. But then, of course, Dexter, you can call him the title holder easy as he faces Bobo Layefa. It's important for Team Rivers to get back on track, and you can see the formation of Dexter. It's something that's obviously 4-3-3. It's something that could give it a better width on the day. It's come with a front three of all women empowerment we are doing here.
It's quite surprising because 4-3-3, this formation, this is be 4-3-3 attack. Yeah, it's not something most players use, and it's surprising that Dexter has opted for that in this matchup.
Right, ready to go ahead is the two gentlemen. Dexter. Of course, Bobolayefa. Two gentlemen trading tackles. This one, Dexter already behind to Bobolayefa. That is a surprise. That is a big surprise.
Like I said, he has the element of surprise against Dexter. Dexter hasn't faced this guy before, and now you've seen how special he is.
Oh, that was a very, very big miss from Bobolayefa. He could have been 2 goals up. But
Wow.
anyways, Dexter in the all dark blue shade, and Bobolayefa having the light blue shirts, black shorts and black socks. Dexter already behind, much to the surprise of many. Then on the left-hand side, coming forward, he is kicker, Jaka. Now James, drop for Vicky. Vicky has the chance, and that's the equalizer. Back minutes is Dexter. 10 minutes into this game, we have a cracker himself.
Yeah, you can see that's why he's the best in River State, going behind and immediately looking to get a goal back for himself, and he did just exactly that, and now he's back in this fixture, and now we still have a contest.
Like the pressure says, the boy is too good. But then Bobolayefa will attempt to prove your opinion wrong. James coming forward now. Dexter, that's an open chance. Throw on goal. Vicky, boys, I could say, marked effectively. He means Bobolayefa doing the good work of tracking back to mark up that a bit of attack from Dexter. Bobolayefa now can come forward on the left hand side through Neymar Jr. A bit of skill from the Brazilian. Dazzles as he always does into his best friend, partner Lionel Messi. Back to Neymar, now to Sergio. Well, that could have been a very good piece of skill, but Ronaldo Araujo stood firm. Of course, Dexter can come forward. Vicky on the ball to James. Vicky to Kika. Kika to McTominay. McTominay tried to get past Konate. Not functioning there. 15 minutes gone. Semenyo to Conte. King Padeo is saying, Bobolayefa, lock in. Lock in. You're facing the might of Dexter, the best Team Rivers can offer, the best the entire River State can offer. 20 minutes, the approach in this first half. Kika on the left-hand side, McTominay back to Kika, now to McTominay. Start putting some passes together. Very direct in his approach. That could have been a pass to seal open the floodgates, but then it's intercepted and they can come forward. Dante Wyatt is impressed with what he's seen. He says now this is ultimate team gameplay. He said this is a clash for the ages. Dexter, one of the best in the States, or not one of the best in the States. Best in Nigeria. Bobolayefa coming with a point to prove, and hey, there's no dangerous opponent you can face than a man who has a point to prove. But I mean, him says, if Bobolayefa can put in a stamp on this one, it's going to shock critics up. But Dexter can come forward. And he's in front. 2 goals to 1. He leads. Just what Team Rivers needs.
Yeah, just what Team Rivers need, and you could say it's kind of been expected because ever since he went 1 goal behind, he's been all over Bobolayefa, and he's been rewarded with 2 beautiful goals for himself.
Bobolayefa has a chance to equalize, and that's the equalizer. Horrible defending from Dexter. Bobolayefa with a point to prove in this one. He is pushing Dexter to the limit, you think?
Well, like I said, it's quite surprising. We didn't know this guy coming into this campaign, but now, just from the first 20 minutes, we've seen that this guy has something up his sleeves, and he's giving it to Dexter, the best in River State at this point. That title would not really save Dexter.
Dexter coming forward, the edge of the air. Oh my goodness, brilliant interception there. But Dexter still has the ball. James Ross it. Now this is just like Dante said, beauty gameplay, and it has been impressive. We lacked goals a bit in the second and third game. When I say lacked, it's because compared to what we saw in the first 76, but we're seeing something like that now.
Yeah, we've seen 5 goals in the first 25 minutes, and that's, we can tell you that this isn't the end because more goals are yet to be scored in this fixture.
Coming forward is Bobolayefa through Davis on the left-hand side. Davis into the area for Neymar. Neymar can get the finish shot, but Bombito, yeah, less brave, putting his body on the line. to effectively retain Dexter's lead. Lionel Messi looks for a pass inside the channel. James controlling that one, McTominay. And then Dexter can come forward now. Xhaka, Kika, Vicky, James. What's the pawn there? Not Vicky James though. Kika on the edge of the penalty area. That's a brilliant pass to Granit Xhaka. That is a brilliant goal. That is an absolutely outstanding goal. From the commencement of the build-up down to the finish. And this is what Dexter is all about himself.
Wow, that like the build up to that goal, and it looked like he was offside there, but the run was timed perfectly by Granit Xhaka and into the top corner. Finally, Dexter has a 2-goal lead in this game.
That was an absolutely brilliant save on Casillas. This is a top-tier clash. 30 minutes into it, 6 goals. Dexter is coming forward. Vicky, she's on the ball now, looking for openings. And she sends a brilliant pass to the right-hand side. James, apparently knocked over, but she can run that off, not to be deterred, into the penalty area. Kika with a chance. That would have been an absolutely beautiful goal. Goes out for a corner kick. Dexter gets in slowly into the thick of things. Corner taken short. Kika, Kawinga, Vicky, Davis. He can come forward. Dexter intercepted by Semenyo. Bobolaifa now can have the advantage. Openda is the man to lead the counter for them. If he spots the pass, it's brilliant. Neymar into the penalty area. Neymar! Trademark counter-attacking football with 10 minutes of the first half to go. Himself, good counter-attacking play there from Bobolaifa.
Yeah, really good counter-attacking play. And you could see from the replay there, Dexter was trying to switch to that fullback there, but his cursor switching wasn't just perfect. Bobolaifa cutting inside, Neymar finesse, and the goal was imminent.
Brilliant goal. 4-3, the odd in 7. We do have here on our screens Dexter against Bobolaifa, the man who a lot of people have not really paid keen attention to, taking the best in River State to his limits. But Dexter coming forward now on the right hand side. Yes, Vicky. Now to Xhaka, to McTominay. Space here for Kika to attack. And McTominay! It's 5-3. I could stay here all day and keep on calling the goals. But then it's another brilliant goal from Dexter. And this is a goal-scoring clinic himself.
Yeah, you can see basically Dexter has been so clinical in this game. It seems every shot he's had has almost or has been a goal so far. Bobolaifa missed a chance early on, but he's still gotten 3 goals himself, and it doesn't look to be over at this point.
Oscar Aku is strolling his face. PJ will not break his sweat playing Dexter, who has been so-called best, not so-called, though he proved the points to be the best in the state. But then, yeah, through the shots, he could take charge of that. Bobolaifa comes forward now with Openda. Through to Neymar. Have a bit of skill to give the pass to Openda. Conte is still on the ball. Semenyo. Charging. Sergio. Good first touch. Messi. Saved by Casillas. 60 seconds with no more time in the first half to play. Of course, Dexter has to manage things. He has a 2-goal lead, despite the scoreboard showing 5-3. Cannot afford to make any mistake, as there is 1 minute of additional time to be added. Neymar's first touch straight to Messi is intercepted, but Dexter can come forward here. Kika on the ball. Kika saved by Thibaut Courtois. That should be the last action of the half, but the ref says no. Playing with this corner. James taking quickly. Xhaka on the edge of the penalty area. Spots the pass to Bombito. Bombito now to Araujo. The shot is blocked. Vicky still in the penalty area. Falls for Xhaka to Araujo. And controlled, as that will bring proceedings of the first half to an end. What a first 45 of football we have seen here. Himself, I doubt you'd see this quality of gaming elsewhere, but this is what is known in this Niger Delta Derby between Team Rivers versus Team Bayelsa. The quality in this first half of football was brilliant.
Yeah, you could see end-to-end action from both players. You could see both players were going goal for goal because Bobo Layefa scoring first, Dexter equalizing, Dexter then scoring, Bobo Layefa equalizing. Since then, we've seen 8 goals just in this first half, 45 minutes game time, and well, we are still in for a long ride in the second half. I still think it's an open game in my opinion. It's still open. We can see switches. Bobo Layefa could actually go ahead in this game, or Dexter could actually increase his lead. It's left to be seen because second half is underway.
Resumption of hostilities. Dexter representing Team Rivers still lead Bobo Layefa by 5 goals to 3. Bayelsa, by the way, leading Team Rivers by 2 goals to 1 as it stands. It could be 2-2. In case you don't know, this is the 43 Esports coverage of the Niger Delta Derby. Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa. This is the 4th game. This clash to settle who is the best in the South-South. Xhaka, James, Dexter looking to put in some passes together. Displaced this time. Lionel Messi coming forward. Bobo Layefa can bring his man forward through this Semenyo. Openda has a forward run from Neymar. He spots that. Oh, that could have been an absolutely brilliant goal. The corner. Less than 5 minutes into the second half. Sent in deep. Neymar on the edge of the area. Turns away from his marker. Gets the shot. It's blocked. But then the ricochet, which could fall for Sergio, it was guarded nicely by Casillas. James. Xhaka. McTominay to Chawinga. Returned to the Scotsman. And Chawinga can come forward through the man Dexter. Dexter bringing his charges forward. Vicky, a ball towards the right hand side, intercepted nicely by Sergio Man with experience. Left hand side is Davis. Davis to Neymar. Neymar to Messi. Conte. Layefa trying to string some passes together with these superstars he has in his ultimate team. Openda in the penalty area. I thought too much about that one and it's intercepted. You don't get that much chances against Dexter. So the quicker you could do the job, the better. Yet to see any goals himself in the second half. The first half was very bubbly, but then both men need to start getting their goal scoring controls on.
Well, it's quite surprising because early on in the first half, in the first 5 minutes, we saw a goal from Bobo Layefa, and before the 10th minute, Dexter was able to equalize. But we've gone 10 minutes now, and we are yet to see a goal. You could say Dexter has been defending really deep, and Bobo Layefa trying to mount up all the pressure to get himself a goal there. And
was using Neymar to full effect. He can do those. Bobo Layefa was the next goal, very crucial as it stands. Sergio. Misplaced pass. Kika. I mean, what the man can do, woman can do better. She gets the interception, spots on. Ball sent forward, but then Dalot will take charge of that to Konate. 5 goes to 3. Dexter does the, in case you don't know, Dexter represents Team Rivers. The man who holds the title as the best in the state. Neymar. Good interchange of passes from Bobo Layefa. He comes forward. That is an absolutely tidy finish. It's 5-4. We're back on track for Team Bayelsa, and it was coming. Him says it was coming.
Yeah, definitely. You could see the cursor switching there went wrong, and Dexter was hoping that the player Bobo Layefa will cut back, but no, Bobo Layefa saw a space towards the left-hand side of the goalkeeper, and the low-driven shot there into the back of the net.
Brilliant low-driven effort there. Dexter knows he is in a warning situation, but then Bobo Layefa can capitalize on the confusion in the camp of Dexter. McTominay coming forward is Dexter with Xhaka, Chawinga, Kika, Vicky. Lovely ball towards the left hand side. Chawinga comes forward, gets the shot. That is brilliant. Fine finish. Fine finish. You peg him, he pegs back. Dexter back on track.
I must say, the balls to do the low dribbling from that awkward angle, but then again, like I said earlier, 90 plus shooting for that woman there, Chawinga, and now Dexter is gotten that 2-goal lead back. Once again, I would look to see if he can keep it this way, or at least increase the deficit.
Dexter ready, getting his 2-goal advantage back on track, but Neymar, that is brilliant. This is brilliant gaming. This is brilliant gaming. It's 6-5. It's 6-5. I mean, the goal scoring record on the day, the most goals in any match is 13. That was the first between Codes Snow and El Dorado. This match definitely has the running to break that record.
We still have about our 25 minutes game time, and well,
Brilliant.
Dexter. These are two really attacking minded players from what we've seen. Dexter always looking to get that goal. Bobo Layefa, he's chasing the game, so he needs those goals, and we expect more goals in this game.
I mean, credit to Bobo Laefa coming into this one, facing the best in River States. The way he's doing, props to him though for this performance.
Yeah, props to him. Though he's taking the game to the best in River State. You don't see this every day. Last time we saw a player who actually went towards this put up this kind of performance against the best in River State was also someone from Bayelsa and PJ. This guy, I'm sure PJ is watching somewhere and he's proud of him, I must say.
Salivating at the fact could make like talk of team because confidence. Remember, earlier on, we did say Team Bayelsa will not lose any match. They have lost one. Good interception there. 20 minutes left to play. Definitely, I tell you, there's still goals in this one.
Yeah, definitely there's still goals. So you can see Bobo Layefa, he's not giving up. He's always on the attack, and he's still on the attack once again here.
Coming forward is Bobo Laeva, but it's intercepted by Dexter. Of course, Xhaka can bring it forward. McTominay. Nobody on the receiving end of that pass, but then brings a chance for Bobo Laeva to come forward. Conte, Semenyo. Clever one-time pass to Openda. Openda's reverse pass. Not exactly hitting the target. Hazard Niger. Now says, can the other guys see how Ultimate Team is played? A lot of commendations for both these men, Dexter and Bobo Laeva, for the gaming quality on display. It's been absolutely fantastic. These two men not shy to come at each other neck and neck. But here's Kika trying to get into the penalty area. It's blocked. It's Lionel Messi. He can bring forward Bobo Laeva's team. Sends towards Neymar. One touch to Semenyo. Semenyo chip towards Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi! Saved. Warning signs there. Those warning signs has prompted alterations. Bobo Laeva still taking Dexter to the limit.
Yeah,
Just a few couple of minutes to go, but yeah, Himses.
Once again, that historic battle between Messi and Ike Casillas, we've seen it in real time. I feel Messi is probably the player who has scored the most goals against Casillas, and now he's been actually tormenting Casillas in this game today. And it's only a matter of time before he roots one to the top corner, I think.
Speaking of Messi, this is a conversation that has had a lot of traction. Who's your GOAT?
Of course, Lionel Messi is the GOAT. Not just my GOAT, he's the GOAT. So,
GOAT. Nobody was here. We're just trying to get the feel. You can also let us know your GOATs in the comment section. By the way, 6-5. That's done. 15 minutes to go. Dexter trying to come forward. Konate intercepts. Neymar. Bobo Laeva on the edge of the area with Lionel Messi. Openda. That's a clever goal. That would have been an absolutely brilliant goal. But then, that's last ditch defending there, Himses. But then, he's coming forward. He is Dexter. Marcus Rashford into the penalty area. Rashford! Oh! But then, he finds a way into the bottom of the net. A much needed goal from Dexter. Dexter in the lead. He stretches it back to his 2-goal cushion. And disappointment for Bobo Laeva.
well, you could see his reaction there. He was disappointed in the goalkeeper because he got a hand to that ball there, but just spewed it, and it was just a bit too close to the goalpost, and it hit the post and went in. And Dexter, you could see him there drinking that water. He needs that breather because he's under immense pressure in this matchup.
Any goal next will equal the record for most goals in a single game in this particular derby between Team Rivers and Team Bayelsa. This is the quality of game we want to see, just like quality of football we want to see when the World Cup final comes around tomorrow. Hey, this football is going to be very, very beautiful to watch from 8 p.m. Nigerian time. But then Bobo Laeva is not giving up though. 10 minutes to go. Hey, he could still do something. in this one. But Dexter coming forward. It's all about retaining possession. It's all about making your chances count. 9 minutes to play, but Bobo Laifa is not giving up. Coming forward, he is now through Bernardo Silva. Intercepted tidily by Dexter. Fabian. Now to Güler. Güler to Rashford. Rashford to Davis. Obito sends it to William Saliba. Dexter retaining possession as it stands. No rush, no pressure, no haste. Oh, Dexter. 7-5 he leads. He comes forward. Güler. Fabian. Coming to Rashford. Manchester United affiliations in their blood. You. To Saliba. Saliba bringing his Premier League winning mentality to Dexter's team in this one. Fabian. Coming forward, gives it to Williams. Williams to Kika. Kika on the edge of the D. It sees the pass to Fabian. It's sent back away and shot. This time, Courtois. Brilliant game management at this point.
Yeah, you could see from Dexter, he's just trying to run down the clock, and he's in the lead, but trying to run down the clock, and he's still attacking, which is surprising because most times when players try to run down the clock, they will just play at the back and just see if they can keep possession. But Dexter, he still seems to be attacking, and that's...
You think he knows that's risky though, because you play at the back and then any ball you lose.
Yeah, I'm sure he's seen Baba Layefa's press, and it's not something he can really cope with. So he decided to go on the attack instead while trying to game manage.
My goodness, Dexter putting some really good passes together. If this gets into the back of the net, it's going to be one of Red goals of the day. It's off the bar. And it's cleared. Under 60 seconds to go. Mitoma coming forward as Bobo Layefa looks to throw in at least one last consolation. Semenyo into the penalty area. Expects a decoy run. He doesn't get that. Kimmich on the edge of the D. Mitoma shot. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. It's a consolation though, nothing more. Oscar who says, I will quote again, the weak links in the Bayelsa squad is Bobo Laifa and Chuku. And those two guys have surrendered Team Bayelsa's lead as it is now. All finishes like this. But yeah, confirmation. What a game. It levels the two states together. Team Bayelsa, Team Rivers. It is 2-2. That was quality gaming. That was brilliant football. That has finished. Bobo Layefa losing to Dexter by 7 goals to 6. And him says quality gaming all around.
Yeah, quality right from the start, from the very first minute up until the last minute. We saw goals in the first 5 minutes, and we also saw a goal in the last 5 minutes of the game. Well, Dexter being pushed to the edge by Bobo Layefa, and I'm sure that's not what he expected coming into the game, but that's what happened. And now you see Rivers back into this matchup, and it should build on from here, I think.
All right, interesting thoughts there from him. Says we've already seen 4 games today, by the way. Ratification that is now 6 points for Team Rivers, 6 points for Team Bayelsa. The next match, obviously, as they could say in tennis, is the decider. A tie break it is right now, but in football terms, we say both teams are all square, and we are set up for an enticing 5th game of the day. Codesno defeated El Dorado in the first game of the day, 7-6. That shares a joint record as the most goals in this particular derby. Mr. Morale then stretched Bayelsa's lead by 2-0 when he defeated Fonzie by 4 goals to 1. Chuku. Then began the losing streak for Bayelsa as he lost to Controller by 3 goals to 2. And then the 4th game of the day has seen Bobo Layefa lose to the best in Rivers State, Dexter, by 7 goals to 6. But then him says Rivers have come back into this one. It's all square, and we are set for a grandstand in the next game though.
Yeah. The next game, it means everything. Whoever gets the win there goes ahead once again. And now we are yet to see PG and Doom play, so it means one of them will be facing themselves, or one of them playing, or they will actually be facing themselves, which would actually be a really, really exciting game. But before we go into that game, we'll be heading over to Khan for an interview.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have with me the best player in River State, the person of Dexter, and then we have someone that tried to beat the best player in River State, in the person of Bobola Ifa. I mean, let me start with you. You came into the game really strong, but now you've confirmed that okay, this guy really is something. So, has that done anything to dampen your mood going into the next match of this tournament?
Well, honestly, anybody watch the game, anybody who has a brain who watched the game will see that I started really strong. I had my clear cut chances. I missed, and if I had taken my chances well, maybe the discussion would have been a different thing. Coming into the game, I respect my.
Welcome back
Yeah,
from that
tell him to.
particular interview.
Was you know like that my
Obviously,
celebration?
hear more from the players
No,
very,
that's
very
celebration.
shortly. But then,
Yes, man. Not the aim, like aim.
Rangers, we've seen
Check.
4 games on
The
the
mics are
stage, which
on.
has
That is
impressed the
can
coach.
They are just
I
low.
feel Team Bayelsa have actually put up a better
Yes, it's
fight.
on.
They put up a better fight because
Yeah,
the games they won was
turned it on. I just turned
well,
it back
the
on
first
now.
game was actually close, but the next game was a three-goal deficit. Mr. Morale against Pons. Each Rivers have won. It has been really, really, really close. But then again, that doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of
Okay, I
things
think I have
because
to talk
it's
about
currently
that.
6 points to both states, and so they will just look to fix up and get 2 wins either side.
Right, very interesting thoughts there as we do see all that is to transpire in this one between Team Rivers and Team Bayelsa. One more player which we haven't seen play for Team Rivers is Doom. Doom is the man yet to
Are you
feature
coming
for
back?
Team Rivers. A lot of people waiting for him to come along the way. And PJ is another man yet to feature for Team Bayelsa. But it's finally poised right now. And obviously, we're going to be getting into the thick of things with those two gentlemen very, very shortly. But then, obviously, pick of the bunch has to be a lot of these games. Coda Snow beating El Dorado by 7 goals to 6. Mr. Morale beating Fonzie by 4 goals to 1. Chuku Chuku losing to Controller by 3 goals to 2. Babalaifa also losing Dexter by 1 goal. He finished 7 goals to 6. This is still the 43 esports coverage of the Niger Delta Derby between Team Rivers and Team Bayelsa. And of course, we've got a frenzy of football delight to bring to you throughout this bit of this coverage. It's all for bragging rights, the best in the South South. Team Rivers have presented the best five. Team Bayelsa have presented the best five. As for you, which team, coordination, gameplay, which state has stood out for you?
Well, talking about gameplay, I must say Mr. Morale in the game against Ponzi, that was utter domination. I don't think we've seen that aside from the game against Controller and in the game in which Controller won 3 goals to 2. But Mr. Morale, he stood out for me because he coached, he won that with Coder Snowden. Actually, he won his own game on the other end against Ponzi, and it was utter domination. And he could put Controller's fixture against his opponent, in which he won 3 goals to 2. Those are basically the two games that have stood out for me so far.
Right, the big one there as we expect Doom against PG as the next game. Doom against Coda Snow, by the way. Yeah, that will be the next game on display. But yeah, it's still going down. Still Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa. Both players getting set. Doom has been on coaching duty for an extensive period of time. Now he takes control of things. Who puts their state in front? We wait to see as these two gentlemen will be doing battle and what has to be a feisty rivalry, the Niger Delta rivalry between River State and Bayelsa State. The best gamers in the land have all converged here with us at 43 Esports. And this is a delight of action. I mean, in total, we've seen around a plethora of goals on display there. I tell you, seeing 36 goals in just 4 games. That is absolutely brilliant. That is a big delight for a lot of us. 36 goals in 4 games. Seems that is nice.
Yeah, that it's goals galore, and we are yet to see more goals because the man Code Snow sits there alongside Doom. Code Snow, like I said, the first game he gave us 7 goals. The RSDL, which just concluded, he gave us 45 plus goals, and now he's up against Doom, another goal machine himself. This guy has literally given us the biggest defeat we've ever seen in the RSL league when he defeated Richie 8 goals to 0. And well, we'll be looking to see if he can translate that in this next matchup against Cold Snow.
Doom. Will there be any spelled doom for Cold Snow? We'll get to see that very, very shortly. But then, Cold Snow, that same combo, him, Mr. Morale, side by side, that's the winning combo against El Dorado, a very confident player. But then, Doom was the coach then. So this is all about revenge for Doom.
Yeah, definitely all about revenge for him, and he'll be looking to get his revenge on Cold Snow now. Um this is a really, really tricky matchup because looking at this, you some people just give Doom the win, but Cold Snow, this guy has shown that he has that grit, he has that fighting spirit, and I feel he's going to take this game to Doom, and it can go either way to both players.
What's look into that crystal ball? Tell me what you think pans out in this game.
One thing is for sure, goals are there. Then again, it's going like I said, it's going to be really tricky because you can't just write off Codes. No, this guy has showed time and time again that he has the quality to defeat the big guns. He's done it. He defeated El Dorado 7 goals to 6 in a game in which most people would have opted for an El Dorado win. But then again, Doom being Doom, one of the best in Africa. One of this guy, like I said, he's been on the global stage. He's been on the biggest stages, and I think he finished about fourth in an African tournament. So he will be looking and hope that Cold Snow will be on the receiving end of whatever he has to offer today in this fixture. He needs to get Rivers back on track and for the first time into the lead in the league table.
For Cold Snow, he was the man who put Team Bayelsa ahead. He shares the responsibility of getting them back on track in this one. Set for a resumption of hostilities. Cold Snow against Doom. That's the game on the offer. That's the big match. I said Cold Snow had the responsibility of putting Bayelsa in front in this affair. They drew first blood through his win against El Dorado. Doom was the coach then, but now Doom assumes responsibility as he attempts to get Team Rivers ahead in this one. Kickoff is imminent. Doomsday. He dons on what you can say is not the sky blue version, but also a skylight blue version. Yeah, don't blame me with the colors, please. Skylight blue version all through, and then Cold Snow having the black shorts with the red shirts, and red shorts. Kylian Mbappe gets into the area, and the shot is saved. Early signs there from Doom, showing his intent to get this win. Good defending there from Cold Snow. We can come forward. Stanisic. Now to Paquetá. Maradona. It's sent forward. Cold Snow has a chance to run at the defense. He chips. Oh, gets a straight shot. But then, early signs, 5 minutes himself into this one. And both sides, or both these gentlemen, have had their own pound of flesh.
Yeah, Doom looking at the other end to get a goal for himself, and immediately Coder Snow returning the favor and almost getting a goal for himself. Both goalkeepers coming into the action almost immediately in this matchup.
All right, Doomsday coming forward. Talking about he speed the outside trap though, Vicky. But that's it. An outstanding save from Joan Garcia. She was condemned to score. Doom was condemned to score. But then condemnation reacting in a negative way. Forced out for a corner taken quickly and intercepted nicely by Coder Snow. And Ardino on the ball now. Checks his run. Maradona for support and it's on the left hand side. Back to Ronaldinho. Goretzka to Ronaldinho. Maradona, a good bit of play from Coder Snow. He's doing the Lord's work against Doom here. Lucas Paqueta to the right hand side. Sanisic back to Paqueta. Maradona on the edge of the area. He gets into the area, gets a shot. That is brilliant. Absolutely outstanding is that goal. 10 minutes into this one. Coder Snow leading against Doom. Team Bayelsa leading against Team Rivers. It's 1-0.
Wow, that's a beautiful goal there. Doom having his own fair share of chances on the other end. He wasn't able to capitalize, and Coder Snow getting the ball onto Maradona's left foot, and there was only one outcome there. Coder Snow finally in the lead in this game.
Coder Snow in the lead, putting Bayelsa in the lead. And of course, it's doomsday for Doom this time around. 12 minutes gone. Coder Snow building slowly, steadily from the back. Beat it for Maradona, Goretzka, Ronaldinho. Brilliant interchange of passes here from Coder Snow. Goretzka on the edge of the area. Oh my word! That is outstanding. Cool as ice. He is Coder Snow. A double in quick succession. That was an outstanding goal from any inception from start to finish.
I would never have expected Goretzka to be thinking of the finesse from that situation. Considering this guy, he doesn't even have the finesse plus straight, but then again, Coder Snow, he loves shooting from awkward angles, and you could see there, Doom down by 2 goals. It was 15 minutes in.
Doom for Doom. Elvis X22 Sage Troy. My first to score on court. I think he puts a little bit of hope on Doom. It's been doomed by that. Coming forward, he scored yesterday again. It's been an all-out onslaught. In this opening 15 minutes, the final pass from Paqueta could not just cut it, but Vicky can come forward. Semenyo now to Mbappe. That is brilliant. That is a brilliant pass to O'Reilly, but he's offside. Agbede Joshua says cold. I think Coder Snow should be doing us a favor by hitting the ice cold celebration if he does score that. It's the name.
You know how funny his nickname, he calls himself the Iceman, and he's been showing us exactly why he scored that second goal. There was a really, really cold goal, and so Doom didn't expect it because of in real time. I don't expect Goretzka to be taking a shot from that position.
Doom for Doom. The Doom keeps coming as Coder Snow comes forward into the area with Maradona. That is an ice cold finish from Coder Snow. It is doomsday for Doom. Less than 20 minutes. Doom is down by 3 goals to nothing. Henson, did you see this coming? I don't think anyone saw this coming.
No one saw this coming. I could even see the comments here saying, Doom, where is it the Doom that we ever expected to come into this game? And Coder Snow is actually taking the game to him, and he's ahead, and surprising.
Wow, talk about an efficient statement of putting Team Bayelsa. Now I did tell you saw where the problem was coaching wise, why Team Rivers lost. Doom was coaching in the first 2 games, and now he's playing, and he's still getting it hot.
Well, I'm sure that he knows he needs to fix up real soon. There's still lots of time. It's just 20 minutes in. If he could actually get himself back, or Coder Snow could give him one of the nastiest defeats you would ever see, and I'm sure Doom doesn't want that, so you need to get a goal quickly.
It's going to be Doom for him. Anyways, Coder Snow still in possession. This is out of this world. Ball forward now. Richard to Maradona. The timing has to be perfect. Gives it to Rodman Nkapie. Did well to track that run. Obviously, Doom. A bit of positivity in a game which has been abject negativity for him. Comes forward on the left-hand side. Chawinga now. Vicky. Mbappe. Mbappe heading into the area. That is a disappointing pass. O'Reilly does well to intercept that. Bobito comes forward. O'Reilly. He's lost out to Maradona. Of course, Cold as Snow will come forward. Brilliant piece of play as he gives it to Ronaldinho for Bombito is strong, but the ref says no. That is the fault of the laws of the game. That is a foul. Free kick, 33.3 meters away. Could that Snow? Could that be a direct effort? No, taken short. Could that Snow doing the business? 3 goes to nothing, up less than 30 minutes even into this one. He's enjoying himself. Freezing conditions. Reached out. Another cold finish. And it's doomed for Doom. Doom is doomed. 4 goals to nothing. Himself. Doom is dooming. Your thoughts?
Well, at this point, you can say it's not doomsday because
Not doomsday.
definitely Kodes Snow has the upper hand. And you could see his reaction. He had to take his headphones off. He doesn't know where this is coming from.
Does
And,
that love anything?
well, I really don't know. I don't know what's wrong. His passes haven't been as accurate as you'd have expected. The way he tracks runs usually hasn't been as accurate as you'd have expected as well. And Cold Snow capitalizing on that. Like I said, you can never write this guy off. Never.
My oh my. My oh my. I mean, less than 30 minutes in. 4 goals to nothing. He is losing. I mean, Doom just gave us that viral meme of when you're not playing well and you sit up with your controller. This time he had to remove his headphones.
Well, let's see if for one he can actually get back in this game.
Maybe the headphones is the cause of the loss because Doom is back into it. A 4-1, he leads. I mean, be careful what you name yourself, guys. Doom. What do you expect? Doom is suffering the doom himself. 32 minutes, 4-1. Cold Snow leads Doom. And of course, Bayelsa are steadily, surely getting back into the thick of things. It's all square, by the way. Team Rivers have 6 points. Team Bayelsa have 6 points. So as I said, this was a game of immense pressure. But hey, what is pressure? And there's a nice cold man having the controls. Cold as Snow leading 4-1 with 34 minutes played. Maldini in the center circle. Misplaced pass there, Semenya will capitalize. But then, not to good effect. Paquetá, Maradona, Ronaldinho. Cold as Snow is tested and trusted in his UT as he comes forward now. Maradona, edge of the area, wriggling his way around his markers. Paquetá, Rodman, looking to enter into the penalty area. Nkapie says, no, you cannot supersede me. Mbappe out to Proford. The menu. At least it's consolation for Doom himself. What does he need to do to get more goals in this one?
Well, he's down by 3 goals now, and we're looking to just keep his defense tight, see if he can attack because he's one of the best attacking players you would see. He knows that if he locks in on attacking now, he might probably get a chance to get back into this game. Well, there's still lots of time, so anything can happen.
And that's bringing ball forward though, intercepted high. And he can come forward now. Cold as Snow. I mean, we're witnessing some cold conditions here in River State. I mean, you can see this is why Cold as Snow is right. No, it's not. It's still cold. Goretzka, middle of the park, intercepted by Virgil van Dijk. Guitar. Semenyo. Retrieving ball into the second circle. That's a brilliant pass. Could he be offside? No, Rico O'Reilly. My goodness, that was a miss. That was a missed chance for Doom to net his second on the day. But then that was a missed chance for him. Again, what has Cold as Snow done so right in this game? In this game, himself has put him 4-1 up in this one.
Well, I'm sure coming to this game, Doom would have expected that he would have the upper hand. But then again, Cold as Snow, like I said, his attacking patterns, I've not seen any player who has been able to actually stop his attacking patterns. He follows some attacking patterns that it's hard for his opponent to actually decipher what's on his mind. Most times he runs down the byline looking for the cutback. And if you try to mark the cutback runs, he goes through the center. His player locks are always almost on point. And see, he took the game to Doom, and Doom is looking confused because this is not what he had expected coming to this matchup.
Doom's look for Doom. He needs to do his way back into the. I love playing with the name. I'm sorry, it's just got a spice to it. These two gentlemen, Kodesno and Doom. It's the fifth game of the day in this rivalry, Niger Delta Derby. In case you're just joining us, this is the 43 Esports coverage. The Niger Delta Derby, big bragging rights up for grabs. Team Rivers against Team Bayelsa. Hey, we're live on YouTube. You can do well to keep dropping your thoughts, and we will be putting your thoughts to full effect. Oh, that's a misplaced pass, though. Mbappe, Crawford, O'Reilly. 3 minutes of normal time in the first 45 to go. Right on this one, Vicky sent it to Mbappe. Doom trying to take his time to pick up on the defense of Kodesno. Intercepted nicely, and Kodesno can come forward. Maradona, one-time ball forward. But he's joining the attack. Paqueta, that's it. Good pass. It's intercepted by Incapié. The courtesy of the defense of Doom. Goretzka. Paqueta. Good ball towards Ronaldinho, but it's intercepted. Casillas. But Joshua says Doom is looking confused. He's devastated. He's doomed in this game. Not doomed. I'm not doomed in this game. Virgil van Dijk intercepts that one. 1 minute of injury time is up. And that is the first half of this game. Utter surprise. Utter capitulation from Doom. Utter devastation. Ladies and gentlemen, the first 45 of this one. Game of the day. Doom is losing by 4-1 to Kodesno. Cold performance from Kodesno himself in that first half.
Yeah, cool performance from Kodesno, the Iceman, like he would usually call himself, taking the game to Doom and absolutely mugging him in that first half. Doom will be looking to fix up coming to the second half. He still has 1v1 by his side, probably watching from the outside, looking at things in which he's doing wrong, and I'm sure he would have been pointing that out to him because being on front on the hot seat, there's some things you might not see that you might be doing wrong. That's why the manager is there, and 1v1, a very, very fine gamer. You'd have told Doom, okay, you're doing this wrong, you're not tracking these runs, you're ignoring these runs, and I'm sure Doom will look to fix up and see if he can get himself back in this game. Well, it's still a long walk to freedom. There's enough time for Doom to get 3 goals in the second half, and if there's anyone who can do that, I'm sure it's Doom. But now the question begs, can he keep Kodesno's attack quiet? It's almost been impossible. There's no player I've seen that's been able to keep Kodesno's attack quiet. The only one that comes to mind was El Dorado in the RSPL, but you could see it here. He couldn't actually do that in this campaign against in the Niger Delta Derby here today. And Doom too hasn't been able to keep Kodesno's attack quiet. But he will try as much as possible to do that in the second half.
All right, second half resumes. Kodesno still leading by 4-1 in this one. On the left hand side is Doom controlling his team with the ball now. So Manu one touch to O'Reilly's Manchester City teammate. That's a good pass. Intercepted tightly by Maldini. Now Kodesno can come forward. Goretzka waits for the run of Maradona. Return back. Campbell to Ronaldinho. Paqueta. Ronaldinho has it now. Resumption of hostilities, but in a quite a friendly manner. Paqueta has this one now. Intercepted. Then he keeps coming. Kodesno easy, but intercepted again. Picked up pockets. Capier doing that one on Mbappe now to Provoge. And he can come forward. Doom. That's a good pass. Nico O'Reilly. Yes! It's 4-2. Back in this one. In the game. Back in this contest.
Like I said earlier, if there's any player who can score 3 goals in the second half, it was meant to be Doom. But the question was, can he keep Kodesno's attack quiet? And if he tries, for how long? Well, he's gotten 1 goal back and it's been cut to a 2-goal deficit. He'll be looking to build on this to get at least something out of this game.
Right, another ball sent forward. Mistimed control there. Daniel says, Doom don't wake up. Of course, some of the other comments My channels, of course, like Bede Joshua was saying, doom is doom, bro. Bede Joshua was saying, it's Villa when they catch cold. Of course, Drew is also speaking. He says the long walk field. Oh, let's get back. But the offside is that. Says long walk to freedom for Doom Mandela. Ball forward to O'Reilly. Offside again. Approaching the hour mark in this one. Lunch, they're coming forward. Maradona. Good as no with a chance. Let's save and it goes out for a corner. Expecting an outswinger, but then taken short. Rodman. Ronaldinho. Attempted interception, but it's falling short. Goretzka. It's intercepted again. Froome drops 2 goals. He trails by. Next goal, very crucial for him. And of course, in the context of this one, Vicky, O'Reilly, not strong enough. Maldini bottles him in from his feet, and Maradona can come forward. Shoved off by Virgil van Dijk. 6 points apiece, though. Seen 4 games. Told you we had seen 36 goals. Make that 42 now. Just 6 games. A frenzy. I mean, just 5 games. A frenzy of football we have on display there. Team Rivers have 2 wins. Team Bayelsa have 2 wins. As it stands, this will be Team Bayelsa's 3rd win. So it could take them to 9 points on the live standings. Ronaldinho on the left-hand side. Goretzka. Edge of the D's. Paquetá. Rodman. Wriggling her way through. Goretzka. There's no trying to pick apart his defense. He does that. Picked apart. Is offside. But then, one inside again, him says. One inside.
A huge scare there for Doom, because that means that defense hasn't really been invincible in this second half. There's still chances that Cold Snow can penetrate it with those line breaking passes and those through balls, and Doom should actually be really careful.
Coming forward is Doom. Right hand side. Mbappe. Crawford. Edge of the area. Misplaced pass there. Long time to think, but he can come forward. Brilliant interception by Virgil van Dijk. Chawinga. Crawford. O'Reilly. The opening was there. Decides to go back to Crawford. Crawford in Kapke. Left hand side is Chawinga. Rodman intercepts. And Paquetá will retrieve for Codesno. Ronaldinho can bring forward the man now. Ball sent towards the channel. Maradona is there. Return to Paquetá. Sent towards the right hand side. That could have been a very enticing pass. Mbappe. Doom coming forward now. O'Reilly. Sent it towards the left hand side. Maldini made strong there by Codesno. Impressed with some parts of Codesno's defending. Good.
Yeah, actually, he's defended pretty well. He knows he was 3 goals up. Now it's been cut to 2, and he's decided, okay, if I can actually score, I'll try to defend as much as possible. Try to defend deep as much as possible. And so far, so good. He's been doing a really good job defending Doom's attacks.
Bito now for Doom. That could have been an enticing pass, but still, Ronaldinho coming forward on the left hand side. Maradona. Return pass to Ronaldinho. Codesno once again on the opportunity. Wriggles his right around the area. The all-important goal. Delight, ecstasy, joy, passion from Team Bayelsa. Codesno with his 5th goal on the day in this particular contest.
Really huge goal there for him, and now you could see it's game over for Doom, because Codesno, he was just trying to defend as much as possible. Up by 3 goals, 70 minutes on the clock. Can Doom score 3 or at least 3 goals from here on out? I don't know. Considering Codesno has been defending really well. I know earlier I was saying Doom will try as much as possible to keep Codesno's attack from scoring, but for how long? I think we got our answer there.
By the way, we're gonna have a little breather after this match. Rest assured, this little short breather. Give us around 2-3 minutes of your time. To catch our breath, because this has been an enticing first 5 games of the day. Other comments here, Oscar Aku is delighted with that goal. He says, bam. Daniel says, no one better, coldest. And Dante Wyatt says, and the weather is cold, though. Yeah, coldest knows thriving in his preferred conditions. It's not snowing. But hey, the Nigerian version of cold is rain. It's raining goals from coldest snow in this one. It's doomsday for Doom.
You could see winter is coming.
Some alterations needed to be made. Of course, we've still got about 18 minutes of normal time to go in this one. By the way, like I did tell you, ratification of that we will be having a short commercial after this game. Of course, do well to stick with us here at 43 Esports. This is just the start. Imagine what happens when we come back. It's the Niger Delta Derby between Team Rivers, Team Bayelsa, the best hands you could find on display. Iniesta in the center circle. Mecha. Dempsey, some of the changes made by the man. Boom. Dante Wyatt is responding to you himself. He says, let's not go there, winter. Stanisic restarting play from coldest snow. Quarter an hour to play. As we approach 15 minutes of normal time left. But Doom, can he get 3 goals in this? Dempsey on the edge of the area. Played in, and Semenyo scores. Doom, 15 minutes. Can he get 2 goals?
Oh, now it's wide open. 15 minutes game time. He can try to get one, but one thing is for sure, coldest snow would look to just defend a bit more properly now because he knows Doom can score him 2 goals in quick fire fashion, and he doesn't want that. He would look to also score some goals to see maybe if he can just wrap up this game at this point.
All right. Coldest snow coming forward on the right hand side through Pakita. Pakita still on the ball. Stanisic back to Pakita. And it's a shot! And it's a goal! You respond! He responds in the coldest way possible. Yet another goal from the ice cold as snow. He is cold as snow. And that goal extends his lead to a deficit of 3 for Doomsday. And of course, for the entirety of this game, you could describe Doom's game as Doomsday. Coming forward, score again. What is... It's all doom and gloom for Doom. And he has no choice but to laugh at his failures. James has 2 goals in quick succession. 7-3.
We were talking about Doom scoring 2 goals in quick succession, but instead, coldest snow answered the question we were asking, and now up by 7 goals to 3, and it's wraps at this point. Doom will not be playing for time, playing for honor, because coldest snow has gotten the win, and he has put Bayelsa ahead again with 3 points. And you see, this will give them the confidence boost that they need, and now you see they're high on confidence. You can hear their voices in the studio, and coldest snow will be looking to add more goals.
And coldest snow coming forward, Maduna, Lichter, down to Ronaldinho. The confidence is brewing for Team Bayelsa. Drew Daniel has one name for coldest snow though. Unstoppable. That's what it is. Confidence from the camp. And Doom is coming forward. He has a chance to net, and Joshua is saying this code they reach me for Lagos. Obviously, you're the hub center of flooding. It has to reach you.
real.
River State flooding the level for where he did, my brother. Anyway, he's coming forward. It's Codesto. Rodman. Codesto could add one more and spell it for Doomsday. He's toying with him, absolutely. Oh my goodness, this is strolling at its peak. Rodman dancing. Codesto dancing. Mecha. Doom. Him says it's all doom. 90 seconds left to play. Dempsey on the edge of the area. Doom, can he get something? No, will Cold Snow have the last laugh in this? Ball sent forward. Ball's withdrawn because of a query. Could be offside. Semenyo, Dempsey. Can Doom have a last laugh? 2 minutes of injury time added. Codesno toying. My God, brilliant interchange of passes from Codesno. Ronaldinho into the penalty area. Ronaldinho. Codesno at this point just toying with his brethren from Doom. Doom can't have the last laugh, dude. Kylian Mbappe coming forward. Codesno attempting to bring him down. Oh, dude. You are losing. But then respecting you for that goal.
We didn't say that was a consolation goal because he had already 3 goals but then he just needed to just put that at the back of the net, and it's quite disappointing from Doom on his end. He knows he's disappointed. He should have come out with something from this game, but unfortunately for him, coldest snow being coldest, like his name being the Iceman, frozen Doom's fingers there.
7 goals to 4. It finishes yet another frenzy of goal scoring fiesta. Cold as snow, this time the man with the win. Doom was a coach when El Dorado lost by 7 goals to 6. He is a player now, and he has lost to Cold as Snow by 7 goals to 4. And ladies and gentlemen, this effectively puts Team Bayelsa 3-2 up in this game of 5. And of course, they now have 9 points. Team Rivers stuck on 6. Just to tell you, Cold as Snow being the victor in this one. It finishes 7-4. What stood out for you in this game for you himself?
Well, Coda Snow's great. The fact that he took the game to Doom, not fair. He came into this game looking all confident, and you could see it there from him. He was so confident in the game. You could see all his attacks were almost on point, and came out victorious. Doom, on the other hand, he was disappointed with himself because this isn't one of his best performances. He knows that, and he would look to fix up coming in the upcoming fixtures.
Comprehensive detail of all of the results of today. By the way, if you're just joining us, this is the 43 Esports coverage of the Niger Delta Derby between Team Rivers and Team Bayelsa. Team Bayelsa currently lead 3-2 against Team Rivers. Team Bayelsa got their first win through Cold as Snow against El Dorado by 7 goals to 6. They went 2 up through Mr. Morale against Fonzie by 4 goals to 1. And of course, Team Rivers tried to peg back at 2-all. Chuku lost to Controller by 3 goals to 2. And of course, Babalaefa also losing to Dexter by 7 goals to 6. And Cold as Snow putting Team Rivers back in contention and ahead in this one by 7 goals to 4. Before we go for that interview, himself, your thoughts on the overall general basis, and of course after the interview we will take a breather for another commercial. But stick with us, himself. Your thoughts on the overall phase of playing these 5 games?
Well, it's been end-to-end action. You could see Bayelsa went ahead by 2 wins, and Rivers tried and grinded away back to 2-2, and now Bayelsa ahead with 3 points again, currently on 9 points, and it's still wide open because we have lots and lots of games, upcoming games later today, and Rivers will be looking to see if they can get themselves back. They've done it once, why can't they do it again? It's for sure going to be really, really exciting.
All right, Khan is with Doom. Let's see if there will be any words of doom from Doom. Over to you, Khan.
Not a very good day for Doom and his coach on A1, and of course the entire Rivers team at the office today. And I know that smile is not a genuine smile, Doom. Don't do that. And we expected more from Doom as a player. He's one of the top ranked players in the city of Port Harcourt and of course River State. But really disappointing there at the office, losing to the man from where is that again? The cold man, cold as snow. So Doom, before your game, when the other players played, I mean, you were their cheerleader, you were coaching them and all that. We expected more. We expected more from you. I think the viewers expected more from you. What happened? What happened?
Well, as a professional player, I don't like to make excuses.
Okay.
So I won't say anything happened. He was a better player in the match, so I'll give him that. But it won't repeat itself. I'm not losing again.
Okay. you said you're a professional player, you don't like to make excuses, and it would repeat itself. Well, I hope it doesn't repeat itself, because I mean the hopes of the Team Rivers, are on your shoulders, yourself and Dexter. And I saw a comment, I've seen a couple comments, about Chuku Chuku and what's the other guy there? Bobo being the weak links of the Bayelsa team. And I think some people are now looking at you as a weak link in the Rivers team. I mean, I hope, I know they mean no disrespect because you're a top ranked player, but I really hope you don't make that repeat itself again. So 1A1, you're a coach. I mean, you are the player log pro, like the player log maniac. What did your player do wrong? Like, what are the things that you could have changed if you were on the controller?
I won't really change much. These things happen. Just a minor setback. So it's one game. I don't know why everyone is making noise. It's Doom. It's Doom we are talking about. So let the rest come.
It's all right. So Doom's resume is very impressive. I mean, it's a beautiful resume to look at, and I believe that Doom would do well to repay the the investment, the hopes of the people of River State, because right now you're the avatar. Like you guys, this is Mortal Kombat now. Now be the avatar. You understand? So guys, currently Team Bayelsa is having a wonderful time, and they are smiling, and we hope to see who laughs last. We'll be headed to the arts right now, and when we are back, gameplay will continue. Thank you very much.